Greetings! Greetings, humanity! And welcome to Channel Other Doc. I am Jim, I use he, him pronouns. And this is It Came from the Late 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 Show, a game from the late 1980s about actors playing characters in terrible B-movies being shown on TV late at night. We're going to go around and see who we have here today. Let us know who you are, who you're playing, and who they're playing in this movie tonight. And we are going to start tonight with Nicky. Hello.
Hello there. I am Nick Vivi, and I will be playing Arlo Schwartz, action star extraordinaire. At least that is what he thinks he is. And he will be playing Duke Blaine, army officer.
Excellent, excellent. And next we are going over to Janie. Hello.
Hi, I'm Janie. I'm going to be playing Elsie Reed, who is just everybody knows who Elsie Reed is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now she's not a mild celebrity. They just got that word wrong.
Oh, did they? I see.
I'm huge. And I'm playing what this pretentious name is that this character. I mean, this name that the writers worked so hard. So very hard on, crap, what is it? I think it's like Emerald Reed Mortar.
That's it. Excellent, excellent.
Okay.
And now we're going to head over to a new face on the channel, Steve. Hello.
I'm Steve, Tall Halfling on most of the socials, Tall Halfling RPG over on Threads. Delighted to be here. Tonight I'm playing Mason DeWalt. He builds the sets. But this time around he got roped in against his will. He doesn't get to be in the workshop, he has to be in the movie. Where he's playing Dr. Guerriere Medici. Except he can't pronounce it, so he just calls him Doc.
Excellent. Excellent. I love where this is going. And finally, we'll head over to Vivi. Hello.
Hi, I'm Vivi of Vivacia. You can find me everywhere as MRS Vivacia. Today, I am playing Karina Kadur, the very pretentious theater actor who's trying to, not end up on off Broadway, but just make it a little bit. And she's playing Celine Leon, a writer who is here because she's gonna write the next great American novel. Very clearly, horror novel though.
Certainly. Well, I hope she finds something to inspire her tonight. Before we dive fully in, as a reminder, like we do with the other games on this channel, we're going to be using the X card, the N card, and the O card. If we hit something that's crossing a line for one of us, any of us can type an X in the Zoom video chat or anywhere else, hold up a card, make an X symbol, and we'll back up and do something else. If something happens that we're okay having in the game, but we don't want a graphic description of it, we can... Whoa, let's not start that yet. But we don't want a graphic description of it. We can type an N in the Zoom chat and we'll fade to black on it or put it behind a veil, so it'll be there, but we won't go into detail. Finally, if we're exploring a topic or an area of roleplay that's particularly intense for us, but we want to keep going anyway, we can put an O in the chat to let us know we're okay and that we're all good to keep piling on the drama. Something else we can do is put an O with a question mark after it when we're moving into a difficult topic, or if we say we do something and then think maybe that might have been a little too much. Then everyone else can respond to that, again with an X, an N, or an O to let us know if we're still doing okay. We're also using the pause. If any of us needs to take some time, we can ask for a pause in the game while we discuss things, or just take a break for as long as anyone needs. As a reminder, just a few content warnings. This game has the potential for discussions of aliens, atomic mutation, brains, insects, monsters, undead and other supernatural creatures, simulated character death, that would be actors pretending to die, fake blood, simulated animal death, that is use of rubber or cloth animal props and or trained animals playing dead, B-movie tropes, horror tropes, and violence. If you want to see that at any time, you can type exclamation point. What did I say? Late CW, I believe that's what we have there in the chat, and you should be able to see that pop up in chat. I'll also go ahead and set that on rotation so that will show up periodically. Let me set that as a command here. Late CW there. That will now show up periodically as we are going through. Also, finally, please remember we have an open door policy, which means that any of us and any of you can feel free to step away from this at any time if we need to. It is just a game, and mental health is always more important. So, let us get into this. We have a little bit of business to go over before we fully dive into the game itself and into the movie that we'll be playing through tonight. Let me see if I can actually make this sound slightly less loud than a train. There we go. That's better. All right. So this game is an interesting little oddity. This is something that still exists, but you don't see it as often nowadays in the age of streaming. Used to be a time when they would show movies late at night on TV. Often on a local level. And they used to do it a lot, particularly on cable channels. Elvira was a big one that folks like to watch. And that is the idea of the Late 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 Show. This is one such show on which we are seeing a movie. Now, the movie for tonight is The Curse of Wolf Castle, a horror film from roughly the 70s-ish. And that I'll get into in a bit. We have our players are playing actors who are in turn playing characters, and will be somewhat in the reality of the movie when the movie gets started, but there will always be an understanding that it's really the actors who are doing all the things, and it'll make sense once we get there. We're going to be shifting back and forth between the possibility of, you see this on television at home, or the world of the movie, or the world of just the actors trying to deal with stuff as the production continues. So, as we go through this, let me see, what did I need to know? I had most of the information I needed, but just want to fill in a few gaps here. And I'm going to go ahead and go around. I'm going to go and continue to go in the same order. So I'm going to starting with Arlo Schwartz. I have it listed that your motivation is to break out of your typecast as an action hero. And you have a stunt double. Your stunt double's name is Jason Willis. And I'm wondering, was there? Can you tell me one detail about your stunt double? One interesting thing about your stunt double?
His head is so bald that when light shines directly on it, it can blind people, and so the lighting crew has to actually take his skull into consideration whenever he's on set.
Okay. Yeah, it gives the lighting crew trouble. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And before this movie began, was there anything that your agent tried to get put into your contract? Was there any one specific thing that you wanted? Any sort of weird asks or anything?
The agent, while acquiescing to Arlo Schwartz's intent on breaking out from his action movie roots, still decided that they want to market him as an action star even in a horror film, and so they have forcibly made the director and the producers include a scene where Arlo wrestles with the werewolf before dying dramatically, or whatever monster that might exist.
Okay. We're dying. Okay, so that was your ask. We'll see how well that went. I would like you to make a fame roll, please.
Oh boy, okay, and it's the D100, right?
Right, it's a D100. You need to hit your fame or below. to
99.
99. Okay. So there was a lot of laughter. And they tried talking to talking to the director about this. And he found it. He also found it funny. Director on this one is Stefan Korder. Yeah, he was. I think all you heard was, "Oh, he'll get to be up close and personal with the monster, all right."
That's all
And
he needs.
That was all they said. That was all they said about it. So yeah. So noting that down. All right. Excellent. We're going to go around. We're going to continue going around, and we're going to talk to Janie for a moment for Elsie Reeve. And does I want to make sure I got this correct. Elsie does Elsie refer to herself in the third person a lot? Is that the
That is the only way that one must refer to Elsie, because Elsie is an entity. Elsie is a legend.
I see. So you gave me as I was just wanted to be sure, because I saw when you gave Elsie's pronouns just as Elsie, and so I thought that must be what that is. Excellent. Okay.
Exactly.
Awesome. So you're playing Emerald Ravensmore III, the Tycoon. Your motivation, it says here, is to win your first Oscar.
Yes,
Is that right?
it is. It's long overdue. I should have won 5 years in a row for my previous roles. The Shores of Pelican Bay. I played body number 3. I was in Dracula's Third Cousin. I should have won that one.
Yeah, I mean, that's there. It was you were totally that was you were robbed. I think you were robbed. Really.
Yeah, I was.
Total snub.
Up.
And I see that your stunt double's name is Kelsey Reeves.
Yes, it is.
Tell me what's one interesting thing about Kelsey?
Kelsey is my identical twin.
Okay.
I mean, Kelsey just doesn't have the acting chops that I have, and I had to get Kelsey that job. And of course, Kelsey used the last name before I changed it from Reeve. So I changed mine to Reeve because that sounds
You
more.
dropped the S.
Because she is singular.
That's right. There is
Exactly.
only
one
Elsie. It's good to know. It's good to know this this inference, but it's good to know that Kelsey is still getting work.
I feel really terrible for that poor child.
Yeah, and she has to step in and get beat up when you don't want to get beat up. It's good to know.
Damage this.
And so there was so what stipulation did you or your agent try to have put into your contract?
Well, among the long list that my agent forwarded to you all, I need my own trailer, and I need the M&M my trailer separated by color.
Ah. Okay. I would like you to roll fame for me, please. Let's see how they did.
Take sunglasses off, it gets bright. Okay, what is your fame character?
Yeah, if you took the pre-gen, then the fame should. I think your fame's 40.
Yeah, it's 40. So I roll 4 d10s.
You roll 2d10, and
2d10.
it's a d100 basically. Is what you're rolling. So if you have an option for d100, you could roll that. But
Okay.
It's a percentile.
I got 6 or 15, or I can't do math. You don't pay me to do math.
Did you roll? Okay, on a D100, did you roll 40 or less?
I got a 1 and I guess it's a 1 and a 6.
Oh, 16. Okay, no, that means that you were successful. So that means that they give you your own trailer, and in that trailer, when you go into the first day in the studio, where you're out filming, this was being filmed in both in the LA area and also in they did spring sometime for certain scenes. They sprang because they need a mountain with snow on it. They sprang to fly everyone out to not to the Swiss Alps but to Denver, where there are mountains with snow on them.
They could have gone to-
But in your trailer, there are M&Ms. You have M&Ms in several little bowls out, separated by color.
Well, at least they got that right. But really, I should be in charge of this movie.
I know.
I guess producer the next role.
Yeah.
After awesome.
Gotta do what you gotta do. And so now we will head around to Steve, to Mason DeWalt.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing Dr. Guerriero Medici, the doctor.
Doc.
Or Doc. And I have your motivation as just build it. Is that right?
That's my mission. That's usually served me well.
It's good. It's good to have that. I have your double's name is Chuck. And
Chuck, yeah. And so the last movie I worked on for this company was called Don't Scream in the Cellar. And one of the reasons why you shouldn't scream in the cellar is that when a B-movie queen screams in a confined space, it is deafening. And Chuck is still half deaf from that.
Ah, yeah.
Still got some tinnitus.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair. It can last a while. What is there a stipulation you or your agent tried to get put into your contract for this?
Oh yeah. See, in Don't Scream in the Cellar, there was a mishap. I ended up in the shot for a scene I wasn't supposed to be. It was just building the sets. That's what I do. And when the reviews came out, I was apparently the most popular performer in the movie. So they insisted I come back. I agreed on one stipulation, just once, and then I got to go back to the workshop where I'm happy and comfortable.
Okay, so getting guaranteed a tech job for the next for this next one. Go ahead and roll fame, and let's see where it lands.
Okay, so 24 under 30.
Your fame is 30. Is that right?
My fame is 30. I rolled a 24.
Awesome. Yeah, you got it. Okay, they're like, okay, all right. They have guaranteed that basically, and this is in a way just sort of it's you don't have to do any sort of exclusivity or anything with this film. You can just walk away after it's done, and you are guaranteed a tech job on their next production.
The first smart move they made.
So that's there. You can pretty much. There it is. So finally, we're going to swing around to Vivacia. You're playing, it says here, Karina Cadieux.
Yes.
Your actor is Karina Cadieux. And she is playing Celine Leon. I feel like I've heard that name somewhere before. Who knows? But she is a writer. And I have as your motivation, save me from obscurity.
Yes, because, she is on off Broadway. The roles are drying up for the pretentious theater types in black berets, and she does not. She's already had stints as a teacher to supplement, and she does not want to be an acting teacher. She does not. She's trying to sideways slide into movies without being,
You want to prove that
she doesn't really want to be pedestrian,
Yeah. Good. There was that old saying I was trying to remember, as that terrible saying, actors act, teachers teach, or something along those lines. I can't remember it clearly.
Those that can do teach.
Yes, that's right. There we go. And I have your double's name is Edith Sparrow. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Tell me an interesting thing about Edith.
Well, Edith is tiny. She's 4'8". She's a 4'8" skinny French woman who will curse like a sailor in French. However, Karina is actually 5'9" and skinny too. So that is always an interesting challenge of, filming it from the right angle so nobody sees that she's, way taller.
Yeah. They got to do some tricky camera work in there whenever they bring her in. Okay. And was there a particular stipulation or something you or your agent tried to get into your contract for this film?
Yeah, because she doesn't want to be pedestrian, she said she will wear no bright colors. That's gauche. And she has to always have fresh European coffee, black, available.
Okay. Please make a fame roll. Let's see how that did.
Yeah, fame is 22. That ain't gonna go any well. Let's see what it says.
60, looks like.
I'm
Okay.
guessing European coffee is too expensive.
The wardrobe department is going to try to find things that are toned down, if at all possible. There will be liquid available.
It might be brown, right?
It will probably be brown. Okay. Find drab shades and brown liquid available. Oh my god. Okay. All right. Excellent.
Yeah.
There we are. Let's see. So this is where we're about to get started here. And we're just going to launch into the film, and we will see what happens. as I sit here trying to remember how everything works. Let's see. Yes. Good. I'll talk briefly about this actually before we get started. So the key things, the key mechanics, I just want to I'll remind folks of again at the start. Is that you have your stunt double. You can at any point call in your stunt double. If we break up into individual frames, then there'll be a specific point by which you will need to call in your stunt double if you want to use them that turn. If you want to use them that take, as we call them. And they have the same number of survival points as you do, so you need to keep track of those survival points separately. When they run out of survival points, they're going to get carried off the set, and you no longer have a stunt double. You can at some point, you can at some point try, if you wish, to walk off the set. If there's something you want to change in the narrative, you can. That involves making a fame roll. And if you're successful, then we do some negotiation to try to see where things go. And something will happen at least. If you're not successful, then they're just going to keep going. Keep in mind, the monster can also walk off the set if the actor playing the monster is not happy. Then also, we have we may do a commercial break or two. We'll see what happens when we get there, but that's a specific thing. I'll talk about that when we do that. And I do it a little bit differently from the rules as written. And then finally, we have the film break, which is a thing that can only happen once during a movie. And that's if you're at a point you're cornered and you need to, you want to be able to get past a certain point. Then if everyone agrees, you can do a film break, and that's basically collectively you would spend from 1 to 10 fame points. And then a d10 is rolled, and it's basically, you just need to roll the number of fame points spent or under. Which means it can happen automatically if 10 fame points end up being spent. And that's how that works. So, keeping that in mind, those are available. We may run into a few other little things along the way. But I think it is time. Let me go ahead and... yes, let me open my other notes for this. Let's see. Where is it? It's probably in there. There it is. Need to open that and that, which I won't need that one soon, but it's good to have it. All right. Okay. So. Actually, I can keep that going for a moment. The TV turns on. It is night. People are tuning in. The Late Late Show begins. And a gaudily dressed host wearing devil's horns appears. Good evening, my fellow night creatures, and welcome to the Late Late Show, where only the most devilish of media goes on display. I'm Quentin Grimm, and I have a particularly blood-curdling tale for you tonight. Have you ever wanted to go skiing in the Swiss Alps? Do you think it sounds like a nice vacation? Well, think again! As our protagonists are about to discover, untold dangers lurk in the mountains, and those who dare face them never return. We present to you a terrifying attempt at a cinematic masterpiece, directed by Stephen Corder in his later, slightly less sober period. So grab your popcorn, turn out the lights, sit back and enjoy The Curse of Wolf Castle. And the movie begins. We're going to see the opening credits. We're going to see over shots of mountains. And this dark castle at night. We hear the howling of wolves. I don't have a sound effect for wolves howling. We're just going to imagine for the moment.
Oh!
Yeah. And I might do it later. We'll see. Depends on how much I've drunk by then. And we'll find as we pan down, suddenly as we see it is daytime. It's late afternoon. We're panning down. And we see a bus. We see a shot. These are, by and large, these are stock photos, stock shots of the Swiss Alps, by and large, that we're seeing. But then we see a bus traveling along a road as it heads into this delightful village that is supposed to be a Swiss village. As we come in, we see the we see that this bus is laden with quite a bit of luggage. We have another shot from inside the bus. We can't pan and go inside the bus. We don't have the budget for that. So we have a cameraman standing sort of near the front of the bus, shooting everybody at first. You know, you're shooting out the front window and then turns in the next shot. We see people in the bus. It's not just you folks. You aren't the only folks in the bus. There are a few other passengers here, also on vacation. If you need them, I can give you names for them. But we're gonna sort of pan through and see. We're gonna see. I'd like you to describe what we first see of your character as you're sitting on the bus, as it pulls into this mysterious Swiss town that the writer apparently forgot to name. Who is first? Who do we see first?
All right, I will go first.
Cool.
You see, sitting up at the front, looking out of the side window dramatically, this extremely muscular and chiseled man wearing a pair of sunglasses, and the window is down. His face is being buffeted by the wind, but he doesn't react. And he has a lit cigar clenched between his teeth, smoking in the winter air just blowing against his face. Just staring dramatically out, not even paying attention to anything.
Excellent. And so the camera will continue to pan. It can't really get a good shot of you from outside the window, but it's we get what you're doing. Camera will continue to pan, and who do we see next?
Question.
Oh, go ahead. So Doc is sitting toward the back. He's got his lab coat just visible underneath, big puffy winter coat. And he's got his nose buried in a big, thick medical book. There is naturally a moment as the camera continues panning by where we see over his shoulder and see a copy of the script for the first little bit pasted on the inside, because even just sit on the bus and look medical it need a little bit of guidance,
There's a moment when Stefan sort of calls on Mason. Hold your book. Hold your book closer to you. Hold your book closer to you, Mason. Not that close. A little further. That's good. Perfect. Right there. Okay. And I believe Elsie had a question.
No, it's fine. I was asking if the windows roll down.
Oh, it can be. Certainly can
Okay.
be. Yeah. Who do we see next?
Well, Karina is like sitting in the back with like a fancy pen. It's supposed to be fancy, but it looks kind of cheap. A fountain pen, writing in a knockoff moleskin journal, looking like a tortured artist, and then closing it and sighing, looking out the window, trying to show her good side.
Trying your best. Yes, this cameraman is coming sort of wobbling down the aisle, trying to get everybody.
Wistfully.
And then we're going to finally pan over to Emerald Ravensmore III. What do we see? Oh, can't hear you.
You see, you get this huge filter of like blurring.
They're gonna stick on the fuzz lens real quick. It's like, okay, shoot near the sun for a second. Quick, get the fuzz lens on there. It turns.
There's this huge.
Just quickly
like,
runs up and
blur.
smears some Vaseline on the lens, and then it turns. Camera turns.
This very kind of glamorous kind of shot. You know, the soft lighting. It looks like, you know, the old soap opera thing.
It's like that you can tell that they spliced two different takes together because they had to get you into just the right lighting. They're like, they're trying to get this right.
And I look kind of forlorn as I look out the window. And since I've asked, I'm going to put it down, like put the window down, but I just look really sad. And I've got a business-looking briefcase beside me. I just kind of look at it and sigh, and then look out the window.
Ah, yes. Ay me. Well, we should talk about props. We need to assign props to everybody. Everyone has luggage. So you all have big suitcases. You each have a big suitcase. Everyone has a pair of skis. The props department has given you a pair of skis, and which comes with the poles that you use to and your fame also determines if you can have additional props at the start of the movie. And so we can briefly go around for that. So first off, Arlo, what's your fame? Hello?
Oh, all of a sudden I forgot that my character's name was Arlo. My fame is 10.
10. Okay, so that means you can have one additional prop. Do you know what that is?
Is that the Zippo lighter that I established last time?
Let me see. Just check against the chart here. Let's see. A lighter is generally fame 31 to 60, so you can have a knockoff brand of lighter that is not functional.
I'll take it.
If you like. Okay. Looks kind of cool if you're looking at it quickly from a distance. All right, and let's see. For Elsie, I believe your fame is 40, which means you can have up to 4 more props starting here. You also get to pick from both you get to have one that's in the slightly high props from a slightly higher bracket if you want.
Okay. Let me find the thing.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's yes. I'll come back to you on that. That's going to be page 28 of the players section document. And on the PDF. But heading over then to Mason. What's your fame again?
My fame is 30.
30. Okay. And that means you can have up to 3 props in addition to the ones that I've given you. Do you have any thoughts?
So there are 2 different listings for tools, tools electronics and tools mechanics. He would have both of them. He's not allowed to wear his tool belt, but he refuses to not have it with him, so it's in the suitcase. And tucked into his waistband for drama later is a pistol, water.
Excellent.
It's the best description I've seen in a TTRPG book in a very long time. Pistol, water.
Excellent. And for Karina, what is your fame again?
Her fame is 22.
Okay, that means you can have up to 2 additional props starting off. What do you want?
would be, that knockoff fancy fountain pan. Oh
yes, that's right. We talked
that
about
knockoff
that. Yeah.
moleskin notebook.
Okay, cool. Excellent,
Because she
excellent.
ain't carrying a typewriter, and that's pedestrian anyways.
That's
Gotta
fair.
ride this long hand.
Absolutely fair. Awesome. And for Elsie, just let me know whenever you've whenever you got it sorted out.
Which list can I go to again?
So you can go to both the Fame 1 to 30 and the Fame 31 to 60. As far as it's those types of props.
Okay.
And we can talk about things that aren't on the list if we want.
Okay, so I'm going to have an umbrella,
Mhm.
like one of the long ones.
Gotcha.
Candles.
Good, yes.
A lighter.
Okay, yes. You can have a lighter. You can have one that works.
But you said this is the 70s?
Roughly, yeah. It's a vague time period between the 50s and the 80s. 70s-ish. This movie.
I don't even know what to pick now for this last one.
You can grab one later. Or just sort of leave it open. That's fine.
Well, do we have...
fancy sunglasses?
I'm sorry?
Oh, that's a good one. Fancy sunglasses.
Yeah, fancy sunglasses. That'll be absolutely fine. Yeah. It's
Perfect.
technically, I think, a costume prop, but that's fine. Yeah, that's under the wardrobe, but it's fine.
Oh.
I mean, if it's fancy enough and she can use it as a mirror to look around corners,
Yeah. Yeah, stuff
That's
like
what I was... Compact.
Yeah.
That's what I...
Compact.
Compact.
Perfect.
Compact.
All right.
That's smart too.
So,
Powder.
you note I was not writing any of that down. You folks can keep track of that. That's absolutely fine. But now that we have that settled, you are pulling into the village. The village of the writer suddenly adds an additional page to the to the script, and apparently the town is called Urig. And this is, according to the script, this is supposed to be a good skiing destination. We're going to see the bus head. It's a very small town. You have a few different things that are here. You can see there's this this big mountain and a pass winding up the mountain to what looks like a very beautiful castle sitting there. And there are a few things here. There are, as far as buildings, this is a very small town. So you have the lodge, you have the skiing lodge, you have, what else? There's a discotheque, there is a restaurant, and there is a church. Those are the main features of this town. And everyone is supposed to be staying at the lodge. And the bus pulls up. And as you all step out, we have a shot of you stepping out of the bus. And we can see you all for the first time. You have the opportunity to mingle for a moment as you're heading toward the lodge.
Well, of course, the filter shows up on me again. Like...
How many tubs of grease do we have back there, Paul? We can't keep doing this to the camera.
There's an audible clunk as Mason picks up his suitcase, and some of the tools inside slide and bumping into each other.
So you're presented with the this lodge, this sort of the A-frame type building, probably. that has been made dressed up to look Germanic, and the director says someone needs to go knock on the door.
All right, Duke will walk up, and all he has with him is just a small little duffel bag slung over one broad shoulder. Still with the cigar in his mouth, he'll walk up the steps, his boots thudding heavily against the wooden platforms, and then he's gonna and knock.
All right. So after a moment, here's some sort of fumbling around from inside, and then the door opens, and you all see the actor's name is Gary. And he's a sort of older fellow, with just sort of side whiskers. He's wearing lederhosen, and he'll kind of he'll come forward and he'll say in a not very good Swiss accent, good to see everyone here. But I am sorry, but we did not realize you were coming so soon. There's been an error, and we are not prepared yet. So I do apologize. But thankfully, we'll be ready in. We'll be ready in about. It'll be ready in about 4 days once the snows have let up just a bit. But in the meantime, as Lord Groundfeld has very kindly consented to let you all stay up in his castle for the next few days. He'll be sending the coaches out at nightfall. And you're all invited to dine with him up in his castle.
What kind of error?
He says, there was a, it was a, unfortunately, well, we did not take into account the snows continuing for quite this long. It seems to be letting up now, but we have to let it melt a bit. Because right now it is not safe to use the pass, and so we are still preparing everything for the. We cannot let anyone in until inspections are done properly. But I will keep I will be happy to keep your luggage here until the carriages come for you. And in the meantime, you may feel free to enjoy our town.
Duke, just without breaking eye contact behind his sunglasses, just takes his sling bag off, drops it by his feet. He just drops it, doesn't even put it into his hands. Then just blows with his smoke, turns, and walks dramatically off to explore the town.
Okay. Duke has turned to explore the town.
Yeah, and Celine, brings out her notebook and says, "Could you spell that name, please?"
My name or Lord Groundfeld's name?
The Lord's name.
Oh yes, it's Lord Niles Grauenfeld. Niles.
Yes.
GR, and the camera pans away from you as he's spelling it for you. What's everyone else doing?
Well, I am very upset, but I don't look upset. I just look worried. I think there's just like one camera, or like they have like a lens that just keep putting in front of it.
You don't have to work something out. We're gonna get like a special lens we can just put on there or something. We'll figure it out. We'll see if we can get it. So, go ahead.
That's always greasy.
Lord Groundbelt knew to. Excuse me, I was saying my line. Lord Groundbelt knew to expect me. No, cut. Can I do it again?
It's fine. Elsie, it's fine. You've got this. All right. Yeah. So we'll go ahead.
Let me try to.
We'll do one. It's okay. We'll do one more take. We'll do one more. Okay. Ready? Action.
Lord Groundfeld knew to expect me. What have you done with him?
Oh, I did not realize you had already. Did he send a letter ahead? He just told me that he would have you have the. It is just a problem with the lodge. We will have it ready in a few days. I
am Emerald Ravens, whatever, the third, and I'm going to buy this lodge. Oh, well, we're not. I will have to. I have to think about that. That's a very big decision to decide if it. My solicitor has already drawn up the paperwork, and I just thrust the briefcase. I feel like a solicitor just appears, and it's even better. Suddenly your lawyer's here, and it's just thrusting forward some paperwork, and I see. I will have my lawyer go over these papers, and we'll certainly look into it. I'm sorry there is nothing we can do right this moment, however, but the carriages will be here soon. In the meantime, feel free to enjoy the town. Who's my escort? He just sort of looks. He looks lost for a moment.
There is a long, awkward moment. Mason is supposed to be escorting the good lady, but he's standing at the door, holding out the suitcase, and just battling with himself about whether he can bear to let go of it. There's a glance over at the director who's nodding very emphatically, and he reluctantly lets go of it and walks away and offers to escort Miss Emerald around. Thank you.
The lodge owner has a grin of fear.
I'm a business tycoon, after all. This is what I do. I buy lodges.
Excellent.
Every good lodge needs a doctor to take care of anyone who falls on the slopes. Maybe we can do some business.
I'll have my solicitor draw up the paperwork for you.
This solicitor is just sort of following. Starting to write already.
Does he count as a prop?
We're gonna have to name the solicitor in a moment. I don't know if they have lines or not, but but they're there.
I'm sorry this much.
Let me know when we have your solicitor's name. But or if you want me to come up with a name, I'll come up
right?
with. I'm sorry?
I mean, solicitors have to be Wentworth. There's no way, there has to be something seriously, weird and
Windsworth?
Yeah, it's like I mean, that's a good first name.
Why do they need any other names? It could just be that.
It's just Wentworth. That's all. They didn't actually give him a.
It's just Mr. Wentworth, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't get a number
Excellent.
because he's not Elsie.
And if he
He's not
doesn't say,
Mr. Wentworth the second or the third. Nope. Not important enough.
and maybe
Alright.
he doesn't have lines because I think you have to pay more if they say lines. So
Yes. Yeah, if it's a speaking role, then there's more. They have to pay them more. So he might not actually have any lines. Yeah, poor. I have named the actor Wyatt Burris. But he's basically a featured extra right now. So we're going to take you into the town, this little village. And again, as I said, you have basically these places that you can check out include there's a restaurant, there's a discotheque, and there is a church.
Well, what was the first building again?
There's a restaurant, there's a discotheque, and there is a church.
What's a discotheque? Is that an American thing?
Actually, kind of a European thing. More
It's a dance club.
specifically. Yeah, it's a dance club.
Oh, okay.
Place where they do various disco is very popular right now. But and other disco funk, that kind of thing is probably what
Yeah.
Very
they would play
ABBA.
there.
That is where Duke will be then.
All right.
But he doesn't dance. He just sits at the bar and he'll just order a beer and then he'll just look at everyone dancing through his sunglasses in this dark strobing light room and then just sips.
So Duke is going to be heading toward the discotheque. Where's everyone else going?
The church. There's a graveyard there.
There is a graveyard there. Yes, you're headed to the church.
She will look at the headstones for name inspiration for her novel.
Okay, Celine's headed to the church, and
okay, can I do something unconventional, please?
you want to?
So- I don't want to do this scene, so I'm going to call my stunt double, and I'm going to go to the restaurant.
You're gonna have your stunt double go to the restaurant. Okay.
No, I'm having a stunt double go to the restaurant, and I'm
Okay.
just sitting this in my trailer.
Okay. So yeah, so Kelsey will swap in, we'll tag in, and Mason, she seems excited that she gets to do the restaurant scene.
Well, you said we could swap the stunt doubles in, so
Yeah, you can do it whenever you like.
Just like this is boring. I ain't doing this shit.
Mason's gonna head to the church and
Okay.
step inside.
Okay, you're gonna
Step
head to the
inside,
church.
assuming, of course, that there's operating doors and all that stuff.
Yeah,
and it's not
yeah.
just flat.
Okay. So I'm going to handle this then, since we've got two people at the church, I'm going to go ahead and tackle that first. And then we'll talk about the other places in a moment. So Mason and Karina, sorry, Doc and Celine are head over to the church. Celine immediately sees and sort of is looking around at the different graves, and And I think that the first thing I'm going to do here, let me see. Would you make a brains roll for me, please? Or research if you have it.
Oh, yes, I do. Hold up. Let's see.
Oh, did you just roll?
Yeah, I rolled brain, which, because interestingly, brain is higher than research. I must have done that wrong.
Oh, yeah. You're supposed to. If you took research, did you take research or do you get research as part of the roll? You might get research.
I might have gotten research.
Oh, here's the thing. Yes,
roll.
if you got research as part of the roll, then is it? Let me look at the rolls real quick, because you might not. It might only be 20. If it's just regular, if you don't have research already on your character, then the talent training, regular talent training, just brings you up to 20. And it's expert talent training that brings you up higher than that. But they only gave out so much. So I'm betting that's the case here. I will, however, just double check right now.
I'm just gonna roll that just in case.
Just talent coaching, yeah, just talent coaching. So it's just a 20. So you came close.
I rolled for brains, and then I rolled for talent, and talent.
Oh, I see.
Actually.
Yeah. All right. So you are looking around, and you're going to notice that as graves go, we see a shot of you walking through the graves and just sort of writing things down. And you notice that all of these graves are pretty old. There are not a lot of graves from the last, few years, it seems. Inside the church, Doc goes into the church, and you're going to see the priest who is there. Let me pull up. Here we go. This is the church, and yes, the priest is sort of at the altar. He gets up. He's he gets up, steps forward. He's sort of like a younger, middle-aged fellow. And it's the actor's name is Colin. And as he steps forward, he says, visitors. We're pleased to have you here. I'm Father Ramon Niedermeyer. Welcome to the Church of St. Hubert. He will step forward to shake your hand.
Good to meet you. He has to force himself not to say Colin. Padre. Doctor. Yeah, just call me Doc.
Okay. Okay.
Lovely town you got here.
Thank you. We're very proud of it. That's just attendance, unfortunately, isn't what it used to be, so I'm just glad to see anyone in here.
Don't suppose you know anything about a castle here?
Oh, yes, the castle of Lord Groundfeld, yes. It's been... Groundfelds have... and he's showing you around. We see shots of you walking around this old church that they have gotten permission to shoot in. which is much smaller than they wanted it to be. And so sort of walking around. So you're doing the same sort of circle around in this very small room a couple of times. And there are probably continuity errors from the different shots, but he's basically telling you, oh yes, this the Groundfelds have been here for a very long time. They're all but right now it's just Lord Niles is the last of them. It's he comes down to the town only occasionally, and never comes in here, unfortunately. As I said, attendance is not good. One can but hope. And you see there's a shot of the altar, and the director sort of will comment on the age of the stone, please.
Yeah, so Doc's gonna walk around, try and make it look like he's doing doctorly things, but he's really checking out the construction of the pews. Gets up to the altar. All he can do to resist the urge to talk about the workmanship of the prop, but that's unusual stone.
Ah, yes.
It's made of plaster, but
it was believed this was blessed by Saint Hubert himself, and was placed here to ward off evil.
Is there much evil around here to ward off?
Well, mostly just apathy, I think. But yes, this was the altar upon which relics would be placed and blessed. It's very sacred and very important, and it is my privilege to be its guardian.
I don't believe I'm familiar with Saint Hubert.
Yes. Saint Hubert was the or Hubertus was one of the patron saint of hunters, and the camera pans back and out through the doors as he's going into detail about Saint Hubert, which will not be relevant to the film. And
I'd like to do one more thing while we're at the church, if I can.
Yeah.
After parting ways with the priest, on his way out, Doc pauses by the baptismal font.
Yes.
And there's an extreme close-up of his eyes as he looks to one side, looks to the other, and pulls out his pistol comma water and fills it up with holy water and puts it back.
all that talk of evil, and now we have a brief scene that takes place in this Swiss restaurant, or this restaurant that's actually more German. It's supposed to be Swiss, but this was the best they could find. These are people from California. They don't know. Unless they've been to the right places. Yeah. In this particular production, they didn't quite get it. There's this. We see a shot of Kelsey there as Emerald, just trying, enjoying soup, while and she's really trying to sell it. But she's really into the soup.
Can I say that Kelsey's a better actor than Emerald. Than I mean, Elsie.
Okay, yeah, and so you basically and so we see Emerald, just kind of meeting with Heidi, the owner of the establishment, who comes around. She's wearing a green skirt, and comes around and with it's embroidered and such. And she comes forward and she asks her, "Are you enjoying your soup?" "Oh yes, very much." She's very good. She's very good. It's an old tradition. And
I say Kelsey's nicer too.
Yeah. She's very nice to the in it, and they sort of do this thing where they kind of, it's like get to talking for a moment and just sort of asking questions about the town, that kind of scene that is terribly boring for a moment.
That's why I didn't do it.
Absolutely. While you're sort of out, you're like out smoking outside while this scene is happening. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, why my twin do a better job than me and hating it, but
yeah.
To myself.
And we're gonna shift over to the discotheque. Where we see where we see Duke coming in, and we see there are a number of young-looking folk who are out dancing. Some of it is actually mapped in from another film that was sort of a musical disco type thing, and so. When they do shots with Arlo in them, it's not the same people. It's not the same extras. They're dancing. But there's a DJ, and you have a floor with that's lit up with different colors that change. There's a disco ball that's coming down and revolving in this sort of darkened room. There are drinks. There are shots of people, exchanging drinks. It's this very sort of almost noir aesthetic, as you have people smoking and exchanging drinks. And there's a shot of people, in the back doing some kind of drug. They're down doing lines. And they're we don't know if they're readily visible or not, but that's what's the next shot. What would you like to do while you're here?
Yep. Duke will dramatically look slowly from left to right, still with the cigar in his mouth, in a scene that is almost reminiscent of Terminator 1, when the Terminator entered to look for Sarah Connor in that one pub. Just a random reference thrown in there, just for no reason. There's no stakes in this scene. He just looks around, and then he walks off camera in the direction of the bar. And the camera angle as he steps up towards the bar makes him look like he's 8 feet tall compared to the bartender. Don't know if it's like intentional
towering
or
over the
not.
bartender.
Yep.
And
who do I see behind the bar?
Behind the bar, you see this actress's name is Alice. She has sort of wild hair. A little bit. But she's very heavily made up. And she looks towards you and smiles. And after she hands someone a drink, and she says, "Well, we don't get many strangers around here."
And then Duke will just take his cigar from his mouth and goes, "I'd like your strongest beer." And sits down on a stool that's too small for him. We have very strong beer. She doesn't even attempt an accent. "We have very strong beer," she says, here in the mountains. "Are you sure you can handle it?" And then Duke reach out and finally takes off his sunglasses. I can handle everything.
Excellent. And she is she's going to reach. She's going to eerily just sort of drift over and start pouring beer from a tap into a stein.
For no reason.
Yes, for no reason. And she just sort of eerily swishes over.
Dramatic close-up with the screeching music in the background.
And sort of sets the beer down, and just sort of she'll sit across from you, and say, what brings you to town?
Ski trip, but now I'm stuck here. Mountain pass, snowed over apparently. And he grabs them.
We must find things for you to do. I'm sure we'll find something.
I'm open to suggestions, and he begins chugging.
Excellent. So, I think that. Let's see. Do you have carouse?
Oh, wait. Let me check. Carouse. Oh, I do not.
Okay, don't worry about it then. I was just curious. But basically the scene, you see these weird angles that come in and different interspersed with shots of people dancing just suddenly for no reason. And they do a close-up of her eyes. And there's a point when trying to think how to handle this here. I need you to make a brains roll for me, please.
Brains? He's got nothing going on up there.
I know.
It's 67. I didn't make it.
Okay. So there's this more dramatic shot where, like, they show her eyes up close, they show your eyes up close for a moment, and the director says, "Okay, this is this is where we need you to do a little bit of dancing." As she is ensorceling you, inveigling you to come to get up and dance.
And when the scene cuts back to Duke, as he gets the implication, he is randomly wearing his sunglasses again because of weird editing and cuts. And then he'll reach out and takes off his sunglasses again. I'm ready. And then he stands up and heads to the dance floor.
Excellent. So, just for the sake of hilarity, could you give me a dexterity roll, please?
Oh boy. Oh, wait, this is actually pretty low. Maybe I get to succeed for once. Oh, yes, I succeed. I rolled 25, and my dex is 40.
Ah, excellent. Okay. So you actually get to show off. If you like, you can help describe what this looks like, but you get to show off dance moves.
He does the dance move that John Travolta did in Grease when he was doing Grease Lightning, you know, with the legs and the...
So,
like it does not suit his physicality at all because of how bulky he is, but he pulls some smooth and sick move, just a random dance number in the middle of the movie for no reason.
Yeah, just quite
because his
suddenly,
moves was too good.
Just quite suddenly, they just do this gratuitous dance scene with you, and they spend way too long on it.
Yep.
And so then the. I think that we see this. The director tries to do this artistic thing with all of this, where there's these shots zooming in and out, and of the different people and people's faces in the disco ball, and it gets just faster and faster and more and more chaotic as they.
I ran the camera just pans up like this for no reason, seeing nothing. Just
shows you drinking more, and then I think we're going to dramatically cut. We're going to dramatically cut to everyone standing by the lodge, watching the path as a pair of carriages descend from the mountains. You're standing there. You're standing there with your fellow vacationers, with the luggage out, and as the first carriage pulls up, these are like old-fashioned horse-drawn carriages that are coming down. And as the carriage pulls up, you see the driver will the driver of the first carriage will doff his cap. The actor's name is Kevin, and he's sort of hunched forward, and as he turns with this ghoulish smile to everyone, and he says, "Welcome, everyone. We are ready to take you to the castle." And there's a little clash of lightning, and that is when we go to commercial. So, commercial break is about to happen, and an actual break is about to happen. I'm going to take us to break in a moment. But I'm going to give you all a moment to think about this. If one of you would like to have your actor be in the commercial, you can do a commercial for us when we come back, and I will give you a fame point, and you'll have an opportunity to possibly get a couple more fame points from that, if you so desire. And we'll talk about that a little bit off screen. But in the meantime, we're going to take a quick break. I believe I've got an interview in there. We'll be back shortly. See you soon. Welcome to the break. I am here with Kimmy of Golden Lasso Games, who's going to talk to us a little bit about this gaming venture that she's undertaking. Greetings, welcome.
Thank you. So excited to be here.
Yay, awesome. Very excited to have you. So this is, I guess, tell us how about Golden Lasso Games and what it is and how it came about.
Well, Golden Lasso Games is an indie game house. Very, very indie. Very indie as in like one person, me. And so it's a woman-owned, run, everything mailed, everything person company. And basically it started because I started seeing some friends of mine who, after playing RPGs for a really long time, started designing their own. And I was like, okay, that's amazing. And I never really thought that would be me until I got this idea for a game that I wanted to make. And I feel like this is a story that many gamers are familiar with. So I realized that me and my friends, when we were all starting campaigns, would all do this mishmash of all these different games to kind of do a session zero where the players got to help create the world with us. So we'd grab pieces of like Microscope and like PBTA character connection questions, even if we weren't playing a PBTA game, and we'd use like the Quiet Ear to like create our setting. So all these games. So, and that's what I was doing. I was pulling all these things from all these different places and kind of pushing them together. And I was sitting there one day and I was like, why don't I make a game that just does all this? Because all those games are amazing and I love them, but none of them are really designed to world build in the same for a campaign. So all of them are tools for their own games. And I was like, someone needs to design a game that does all these things, but is system agnostic and setting agnostic. So you could use it for any system like D&D, PBTA, whatever you want, and for any kind of like sci-fi or fantasy or anything like that. So I started thinking about it. And at first I was thinking about maybe using like regular cards. And then eventually I was like, tarot cards, of course, tarot cards. Like, it's like kind of like reading the future of your campaign. I'm not someone who like necessarily believes in the mysticism of tarot, but a lot of people do. And I do believe that there's a lot of insight there. As you are like looking at the cards, it makes you really kind of tap into like thoughts and things you may not have been aware of. So I love that. So I created a game called Decima, which is lots of different prompts. It creates your location for your campaign, including NPCs and buildings. It creates connections between the characters. So players come to the table and the GM runs it for them, but they come to the table with characters already mostly made. And then they suddenly will get a whole bunch of drama and backstory between them. So there's no more meeting in a tavern. And then the last thing it does, like group dynamics. So like, okay, our party's been together for a while. What's our reputation? You know, do people like us? Who's an enemy of our group? Who are our rivals? So it sets up all this amazing stuff for the GM to then, like, the campaign basically writes itself from there. It's such a great, fantastic thing. So it's all based on tarot cards. And yeah, we started with, I did a Kickstarter in February of 2020. That was great planning, right? For a card game that needed to be produced in another country. Well, I thought it was until, 4 weeks later. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. But it went really, really well. We raised like almost $60,000, and that was kind of the launch of Golden Lasso Games. So it was really fun.
Excellent. There's several things to talk about here, actually.
Yeah. So much.
One of which is that I will say that as folks who watch this channel probably already know, I am a big fan of doing that whole thing at the beginning during a session 0 where you brainstorm with the players about stuff that's going to be happening in the campaign, because it gives them so much buy-in on it. I think it makes for much more interesting games, both for the GM and for the people, other people playing at the table.
Absolutely.
And so it's very cool. I think it's really awesome that you put out this game that sort of encapsulates your process for it. I happen to have a copy of it here.
Ooh, how pretty!
Gorgeous. It's gorgeous, though. It is.
I'm very proud of it.
Who did you get for the art for this? Do you?
My friend Samantha Terry. She's an incredible artist, and she also plays games on Happy Jack's RPG. We're really good friends. We met each other cosplaying and have been friends and cosplaying together for, oh my gosh, forever, like 9 years now. And she's just a fantastic artist. She's done work for Blizzard and, Warner Brothers. Like, she's a professional designer in real life and does art and a lot of textile design. So if you bought, Star Trek leggings, you probably bought her stuff.
I mean, you just look at these things. These are freaking gorgeous.
And you see, and one of the neat things about the connection with the tarot cards is there's prompts on both sides of the card. And if you know about tarot, when you are doing a reading, whether a card is upside down or is inverted or right side up, it means different things in the tarot reading. So all the prompts are actually kind of in ways connected to the meaning of the card, and also connected to what it means when it's inverted or right side up. So, which was just, it made, honestly, like, I'm a teacher, so writing a million questions wasn't that big a deal. It's like my life. But having kind of that guide, it made it so much more interesting to actually write.
And I think it's really cool how you've set these up. I used these cards for for our off-stream session 0 that we did for the mini campaign Top of the World that I did toward the beginning of this year, 2022. For those of you watching later, it was a paranormal spy campaign that I was doing, and it was great actually, because it was a very cool way to instantly connect all of the different characters, and actually make what they were doing matter all that much more because of what they did, especially in that genre. Everything you do affects everyone else.
Yeah.
So this game really helped to encapsulate that really well, and so thank you very much for making this.
Thank you.
This was quite good. But in general, for Golden Lasso, do you have any other major things coming up or any new projects, things you want to do with Golden Lasso that might.
Yeah, we have
be
a couple of
happening.
things. So the very another game that I've designed is already up on our website as well. You can find it at goldenlassogames.com. It's
Yeah.
called Virgins and Vixens. It's a very rules light story game about breaking the tropes of women in lore and myth. So you've got like the tropes of like the damsel in distress or the evil hag. So it's got a set of tropes like that, and you start out the game very much in that trope. And then as you level up, kind of, you break out of that trope and you become more of an individualized character. So it's very
Nice.
rules light. It's like sort of PBTA inspired, but even lighter than PBTA. It's a very rules light system, and it's very fun. And it's great for kids. Actually, I've really enjoyed running it for kids because they start off as, oh, I'm gonna be, Snow White, and then like they slowly like become like this awesome like individualized character who's, and it's so much fun. I love it. I'm very proud of that system. I wrote it in a week for a game jam. And I think it was one of those things where it was like the time crunch and like getting it out in that sort of time just was like this beautiful, like little masterpiece. So yeah, it's been very cool. And there's actually like a company in Spain who's picked it up and like produced a Spanish translation of it and things like that too.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, it's very fun.
And I just have to say, it's really awesome hearing that you're also doing that to help subvert these tropes for children, because this is also when you want to, I would think you want to start introducing this kind of stuff to them. So that's brilliant, and also that means it's important. So which I mean, actually all manner of games are important, but just that's very it's very cool to know the very important thing about this one. So yeah, I highly recommend folks check this out. Where should folks go if they want to find your stuff?
So go to goldenlassogames.com. You can find all our games there, including the ones that are up and coming. I have another game called Starscape that's in beta testing right now. And then I have one called Mains and Magic, which is another kids game that I'm designing. It's going to be very rules light. It's about unicorns. I'm basically designing the game that I would have wanted as a kid. So you start off as baby unicorns with like elemental powers, and you slowly get more powerful as you go looking for your adults. So that's going to be very cute. And actually the character sheets for that are also coloring pages. I'm very excited about the art for that one. They're super cute.
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
really just was like, what game do I want to make to play with my daughter? Okay, unicorns. That's it.
Brilliant.
Unicorns. Yeah.
Brilliant.
So goldenlassogames.com.
Excellent. Go check it out. Thank you very much for stopping by. And I'm now going to throw things back over to my future self. Please take care, folks. We will see you all of a sudden.
Yeah.
we have returned. We now see. We're now as we're coming back. Oh right, that's right. We have a commercial. So a commercial airs before we return to the movie proper, and we are seeing a toothpaste commercial, a commercial for Promise toothpaste, and Arlo appears in this commercial. What do we see?
Okay. So you see a dramatic scene with like soft, like almost romantic music comes on as Arlo walks in and he is shirtless, smiling at the camera with his sparkling white teeth. And he'll go, "Hello, ladies. Look at your man. Now back at me. Now back at your man. Now back at me. Sadly, his teeth isn't like mine. But if he stopped using Pepsodent and switched to Promise toothpaste," he holds it up, "his teeth could look like mine. Look down, back up. Where are you? You're on a kayak with the man with your teeth. Your man's teeth could look like. What's in your hand? Back at me. I have it. It's a box with a wedding ring." And he gets down honestly, "And you're getting proposed to. Look again. The ring is now teeth floss. Anything is possible when your man's teeth look like mine and not a Brits. I'm on a donkey." And it pans out and he's on a donkey. And then Promise toothpaste appears on screen.
Awesome. Okay. So you get to increase your so I need you to do two things for me. First off, you're going to be increasing your fame just a little bit, but I need you to make a looks roll so we can see how you sold that.
All right, let's go. I rolled 91.
Okay. So unfortunately, this show is on really late at night, so they didn't really get much of a sales boost from this one. But you do get one more fame point, so you get to add 1 fame point to your total.
Yes. If from 10 to 11, that'll make the difference.
Excellent. All right, and we now return you to the mountainside as we are taking shots. We now have again stock footage of the mountain. We do see a shot from a distance. We see this big slope on one side of the mountain. This big slope, at the bottom of which is the church, and then the rest of the village. And then we pan back across and we head back up the mountain as the camera climbs higher up onto the mountain. And we see the path. And then it cuts closer so that we can actually see these carriages being drawn forward. These couple of carriages that all of the that the miscellaneous number of vacationers are in. Again, we see all of you. We see shots of you inside these carriages. The camera person is in very tight quarters here, shooting from inside the carriage, having to shift positions. What do we see on our way up this mountain?
Okay, I'm gonna go first this time. Can I say that Elsie's shot is clearly not in the carriage? It's
It can be. They just used a shot. They did. She had to have a close up, so they used a shot of her just against the mountains. Is that?
Yeah.
Basically? Awesome. What else do we see? Anything interesting?
Just yet more dramatic shot of Duke looking out of a window with the winter wind buffeting against his face with his sunglasses and the cigar still in his lips smoking. Like it's very clear it's shot in a different location, like in a still location, just to get an outdoor shot. So it's the camera is just moving up and down to simulate the moving, and then they just splice that in.
Like you need to cut the wind machine down just a little bit. It's a little too hard there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, Arlo. You won't have to squint as much. We'll try to turn that down. Okay.
That's why I wear the sunglasses.
Yeah. You see anything else?
Well, you actually can see that Celine is the camera goes like over her shoulder into like her notebook, and it's like all this prose and crossed out words, rolling fuck, deep silence, whatever. But you can also see on her face she's not very happy because they put her in a red shirt. So she's sitting there in this red shirt trying to be all prose, and she keeps it.
Yeah, that was all they had. It was all they had, unfortunately. They tried. Do we see anything from Mason on this? Yeah.
Yeah, the at one point the carriage takes a little bit of a lurch more than it was supposed to, and for a moment the doctor is not sitting on board the carriage, and then we suddenly he's back and he's hiding what are very clearly tools now that the carriage is moving more smoothly.
Awesome. All right. So we now once again have stock footage of this castle, and then we see, then we pull up to, then we show the set where this carriage pulls up and around this flat area on the side of the mountain. You can see this multi-level castle. And the driver pulls up and opens the door for folks. There are a couple of servants will come out and take the luggage. As we see shots of you heading toward the castle gates. This castle does not have a courtyard. But these double doors up front just creak open. And we can see night is starting to fall as we're heading into the castle. We see shots of everyone from overhead entering the castle. And in this, again, this is a castle that they were permitted to film in. A lot of it is sets, but we have the ground floor of the. Yeah, this is a castle. It's got like 4 turrets, basically either at the corners, and the inside opens to a big kind of a great hall, a kind of a where there's a table laid out. And there are shots of tapestries on the wall. There are a lot of there are paintings and a lot of little sculptures of wolves. And on the banners, there is a couple of banners. There are a couple of shots of banners with images of wolves on them, sort of medieval wolf imagery. And sitting at this at the head of this table and slowly standing is Lord Niles Grauenfeld, who is played by Henry Merrill, who's something of a celebrity. And he's wearing a smoking jacket and a shirt with kind of a sort of a dangling he's wearing some kind of medallion that's kind of tucked into the shirt. The shirt tie is a little loose. as he steps forward, as everyone is carrying your luggage in. Says, "Welcome, welcome, one and all. Do come in. Must be getting dreadfully cold out there. Come in, warm yourselves." And because there's a big fire blazing behind the table. He's sort of a handsome-ish fellow, of indeterminate age.
Let us not waste time. I've got the paperwork.
Your solicitor appears next to him, and he's like, "Ah, interesting. Yes, I believe we corresponded. Of course, of course." And he snaps his fingers, and another solicitor appears. Opposite yours. And the two solicitors stand, their gazes locked on each other for a moment.
There's going to be a battle.
They will go over it and make certain that everything is well. And so they slink off to that strange dimensional solicitor space where they go when they're off camera.
Just imagine everyone has like a solicitor in their pocket.
Pocket solicitor. We absolutely did not see them in the any shots of them in the carriage on the way up. It's like they just appeared here. And so Lord Groundfeld says, "Well, we will get you all settled, and then when you're ready, feel free to come down to dinner." And we see shots of the servants carrying your luggage up to these rooms. The guest rooms are all in the turrets. So there are 4 of you. And because you are the stars of this film, you get the second floor instead of having to go up higher. Unless you want the highest castle turrets, which are like probably up on the... how many people do we have here? We're probably up on like the 3rd or 4th floor. I don't know if there are 3 or 4 floors. It's probably going to change during the movie as they figure it out.
I need the highest turret.
The highest turret? Okay, yes. They can put you in... you want the highest turret. I don't think they're going to complain about that. They're going to... Yeah, they'll go ahead and they'll put you in the
penthouse.
I keep wondering if we should... Is this a thing we want to make anything out of? Is this... Could you make a fame roll for me real quick?
Okay, let me find roll 20. I lost it, so just one moment. You know, how do you lose a whole website? It's really easy.
Yeah.
It happens all the time.
Where are they? They exist in a non-physical space. It's
The
so easy to
solicitor
lose
tab.
track of them. Yeah. Just roll 20 and the solicitors just hanging out.
They're holding the dice for us all.
Yeah.
Okay, roll 2D10 send.
Okay, so that's a 61 then. Which I
think
believe
that's
you rolled
60.
2d10. Yeah.
60's my fame, isn't it? No, 40's my fame.
40 is your fame, alas. So there's a bit of a delay. They eventually, because I asked for this, I'm not going to make you do the whole walking off the set thing. But I think that what ends up happening with this is it's like you're not allowed to actually physically go into the turret into that because it's actually not safe. So So they're going to shoot it from the outside. They're going to do establishing shots from the outside as though your character is in the turret, but you're actually not in the turret. You're not actually at the top, on the top floor.
It would be cheaper if they use the same establishing shot for all four of us.
Yeah, probably.
We're obviously in different rooms, but
It's the same shot.
it's the same window.
So you all get set up in your rooms. We're going to have a series of shots of the four of you, doing whatever unpacking or changing for dinner, and anything that you would like to do. Is there anything that you would like to do before dinner happens?
Duke is going to try to explore a bit of the castle if no one stops him. He's gonna drop his duffel bag in his room and then wait for the servants to leave, and then he's gonna exit and start just walking around and taking the sights.
Lupin is the best.
Okay. So you're gonna just sort of look around. I'm gonna call for some kind of a roll here. As you're searching, I don't think anything terribly exciting is going to necessarily happen to you before dinner, but you might find something. Unless you have a skill that applies to this, the only thing I can think of to roll here is brains.
All right. Let's see. Nope, 85.
Okay. Nope. So as you sort of look around, I think there's a shot for a moment as you're just sort of looking through the hallways, because there are these long halls that go between the turrets, and you sort of see that on the second floor there's a library, and let me grab that thing. Where was that? Yes, there's a music room. There's a study. There's a game room. And as you're just sort of looking around, there is a moment when we get a shot from a camera a bit away from you and low to the ground, and we hear this panting, this as it starts getting closer and closer to you from behind. And then we have a shot of like the door opening and you looking in and seeing a library, and then it's for a moment it's like there's something behind you, but you look around and there's nothing there. And then you turn and there's this library full of books, old books going back quite a ways.
Okay. He'll just scan. Not really the kind of person that's interested in books.
Yeah.
He closes it, looks around dramatically. Once more, just slow pan. As if drumming up tension that we know will have no payoff at this stage.
Yeah.
Then he walks off.
Would anyone else like to do anything before dinner?
Emerald is going to. I think the shot will be of Emerald in the, whatever, I don't know, in the room. In like a dinner outfit, and just kind of leaning on the windowsill, gazing out of it, really, really, I don't know, sad, whatever they do for the close-up shots of that.
Yeah, they'll do another shot of the outside, from the outside, that's supposed to be from your perspective, that shows the sort of the back, the rear of the castle, and sort of this wide kind of field that before there's a slight slope. The slope drops off. It doesn't really drop too dramatically, but it goes this slope that goes all the way down to the village from up here.
think we get a shot of Doc. The first shot we've really gotten of Doc looking like, medical professional. He's got, the stethoscope around his neck. He's got the little reflector thing on his forehead. And he's got the little magnifier and light thing that they use for the CA.
Mhm.
This is all from, patient's point of view. And and we get accidentally a shot of what he's doing, which is using the medical equipment he's got to very, very, very carefully examine some of the workmanship on the construction of the castle. Because they don't build them like these anymore.
They do not, and this one should be condemned, probably. Yes, we see that. Is there anything else we see, or shall we cut to dinner?
I think you see with some sweeping shots of like hallways and rooms, because Celine is walking around looking at art and artifacts and writing down like descriptions in her notebook to use in her book. So she's looking at whatever creepy old art and artifacts are hanging around.
You can, if you wish, use research at this moment.
Nope.
Okay. You will note that there are, that as you sort of are looking around, there are a lot of there's a big wolf motif. A lot of sculptures of wolves, paintings of wolves, and books about wolves, and there's a lot of books on the family history of the Groundfelts, and a lot of just sort of books on folklore, about creatures of the mountains, that kind of thing.
Yeah, she would definitely like note all of this down.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she's actually got history. No, but she will like write down like little tidbits from like the folklore and just whatever jumps into her head.
Mm-hmm.
And what we also see is that pen is really crappy. It scratches, it smears. She got ink on her fingers, but she's still acting like it's the best thing ever.
Excellent. So, all this happens, and we're going to fade into dinner.
I realize it is asking for trouble, but do you mind if I make a construction roll just to see if Mason actually learns anything?
Sure, give it a shot.
Yeah, he does not live up to his first name.
Okay. So
He's more
I think
competent.
there's a point where you're kind of looking around and at sort of up high. You're sort of up on the third floor, and there's a moment when you hear this sort of crumbling sound, and you step out of the way just as a couple of stone bricks, come slamming down just where you were standing. And this is not actually part of the. This was not supposed to happen, but then they go ahead and they do another shot of from the camera perspective of something low to the ground running around behind a corner.
Yep.
To make it seem as though that was supposed to happen. And we're going to cut to dinner. As you are all dressed for dinner around this big table with an indeterminate number of other vacationers. And you're there with with Lord Grounfeld. Who is sitting closest to Lord Grounfeld?
Emerald.
Emerald is sitting closest to Lord Grounfeld. And there, apparently this scene is like starting in the middle of having been talking, and just sort of yes, it's a. You must tell me more about. You must tell me more about your country.
Yes. The country of Country Town.
Where is Emerald from, do we think?
I'm from a little village in Europe called Westfordshire. Okay. Emerald is mine. Emerald's from Emerald's really from like Middle East. I mean, not Middle East, Midwest somewhere.
Midwest, yeah. Like, interesting, very interesting. And as you're talking, he will say, yes, it's all right. It's good to get out though and see the things, but I know you must miss it. And
yeah,
he's trying. Yeah,
I especially miss walking by the lake. And it's this shot, and it's like this long speech about something. It's clearly Oscar bait for this, this low budget
an Oscar bait speech. But what they're gonna take this opportunity while you're talking to do is we see two things happening. One is as you're leaning in, they do a close up shot showing as he's moving that the medallion around his neck becomes visible for a moment, and you're gonna see it is this what looks like a bronze wolf head pendant, sort of on the end of this chain around his neck. So you're going to see that. And at the same time, the servants start bringing in these platters and setting the platters on the table. Platters laden high with meat. What looks like beef and pork and chicken. Lots of meats.
Are they cooked meat?
The meat is largely rare. The chicken is cooked because the producers don't want to risk anyone getting salmonella.
Can I call my stunt double in for this? I'm on a diet.
Yeah,
like,
I was thinking the
like,
same thing because Karina is a
Stefan's
vegetarian.
Like, what, really? Really? You need to, are you sure? You need?
I'm not doing this.
Really pretty simple. All right, fine. And so both Karina and Elsie switch out for their stunt doubles, who come and take the bullet of rare steak, as Kelsey and Edith sit down. They have to give they have to give Edith some books to sit on, so that she looks like she's sitting at the same height as Karina, around the table. As they're slowly, and Kelsey seems to be paying rapt attention to everything Lord Grounfeld is saying. And so there is food, and people are just sort of lightly chatting about things and about the village and about skiing. What are we all doing?
Yep. Duke is enjoying him. This is the first time you see a little bit of a smile on his face because he loves extra rare meat. And so he has piled his plate with like 3 slices and he's eating that. And there's a little bit of like blood dribbling down from his chin as he's like eating.
Yes. And for a moment, there's like this pan. We pan closer in as you're doing it. And there's this voiceover that we hear for a moment of that Alice comes back and does a voiceover real quick that they make sound mysterious and yes, the meat is good and bloody. Yes.
Love it.
Do we see anything else?
I think off screen. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
So I think off screen, Elsie is not smoking, but doing something that Elsie should not be doing.
Oh yeah, you and one of the and probably a couple of the of the PAs are just sort of off smoking something. And I think at this point, we have shots. We see Lord Niles enjoying, just digging into the meat and enjoying it with relish. Saying to quote unquote Emerald that it's good to enjoy the meat with relish. It's important. We just see let me ask a quick question. So we know that Duke is eating. We don't see whether Emerald is eating or not. And we don't see whether Celine is eating or not. Do we see Doc eating?
Mostly we see Doc fidgeting, because I'm sure Doc would be perfectly comfortable in an affair like this, but Mason with all these fancy clothes is just and he's giving longing looks over toward the craft table where they have actually edible snacks, and the director's gesticulating at him, and so I don't think he's into it the way that that Duke is, but he's kind of absently chewing on some chicken.
Okay. And then otherwise mostly picking at the food. Okay. So,
he's also eating with he's eating with his fingers. This huge table, all these forks and knives and things, and just.
We're going to jump ahead now, and as we just see this slow fade as we I think at some point during the evening we hear Lord Groundfeld said, skiing, I like to do some myself, just but it's good when one has one's own private mountain. Ha 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 ha. And as things sort of fade and the evening wears on, you will basically you'll hear as people are leaving the room to go to bed or do whatever, he will say, and do remember, if you need anything, just ring one of the bells and the servants will be there for you. And we see folks breaking up and getting ready to go to bed. What do you folks do?
I think Duke would head back to his room and sleep because he's here for a skiing trip. So the more he sleeps, the faster that day will come. And so he's gonna go and sleep.
Yeah, and we see shots of him looking almost unusually. The director sort of says, yes, no, look really tired. Look really tired. Unusually tired.
And he's still behind his sunglasses, so all he does is just looks down a bit as he walks. Just angles his head down.
Celine would probably try and find the library.
Okay.
To, you know, just read something in the atmosphere, you know, and just soak it all in.
You're going to find something, but I need you to make... go ahead and make a brains roll so we can determine how quickly you find it.
All right.
Okay. You're pretty
Ooh,
close.
That was close.
Okay. So it won't be too terribly long. But more will happen in a moment. Let's see. Is Emerald heading to bed?
Yes, and once I guess once Emerald thinks that there's no cameras, can Elsie and Kelsey have an argument?
Yeah. What do you want to argue about?
I have no idea. Stop upstaging me.
You're the one that keeps asking me to sit in for you.
You're not supposed to be a better actor than me.
I'm sorry. I'm just doing what comes naturally.
I got this job for you, and I can take it away that quickly. I'm the star.
Could you make a fame roll for me real quick?
I almost would. Let's see. Can't see what I rolled. 35.
Oh, you made it. Okay. Yeah. And so she's like, okay, I'll try not to. I'm sorry, I didn't think I was upstaging you. I'll try harder. I'll try harder. You know I can try. I really appreciate everything you've.
The crew likes you better. What did you do to them?
I don't know. I was just talking to them.
You're not
And,
taking this.
Okay, I'll tell. I'll try to make sure. I'll try to make sure. Where are my notes here? I'll try to make sure Stefan doesn't shoot my face when I'm in scenes. If I can, I mean, I'm supposed to be doing stunts anyway, so I'll try not to.
You look nothing like me, and you can see that Kelsey and Kelsey are
exactly alike. Okay. I'll try to make sure I'm turning away from camera more. And
sorry.
It's wonderful. But no, she's gonna try to make sure you're more in focus. And Doc, what are you doing?
Doc is kind of exploring the house a little, the castle a little bit. Crunching on some pretzels that very obviously did not come from the table on the set.
They're from craft services.
Oh yeah, and trying not to make it quite so obvious that he is checking out the construction and you know how this place is put together. If anybody corners him about it, well, you know, just being a good doctor and paying attention to the bones of the place. That's all.
I need you to make a medicine roll for me, please.
Okay.
Something I need to know if you notice.
Okay. It was not clear to me from the rules whether medicine and first aid are effectively the same or not.
They can be. It depends. You are designated. Your character is designated as a doctor, so you can actually also use medicine to diagnose. But if you have both medicine and first aid, you can roll whichever is higher.
Okay. Yeah. The doctor has some medicine, but working with power tools, Mason has more first aid.
Okay. Yeah. Go right ahead.
Yeah, that is a 20 under 40.
Excellent. Okay.
Yes.
So we now have a scene in which as you're walking through the castle, the hallways of the castle, the director has told you that you're now feeling a little bit lightheaded, and you're realizing that there was something in the chicken, but it's not going to take you out completely because you didn't have very much of it. But there's something that you think that maybe the meat was drugged, and I need you to express it, and I just need you to express that for me.
That's all he. Sorry, I don't want to assume that's all they tell me.
Yeah, he tells you that that's basically what he needs you to convey.
Yeah, I think we see Doc kind of slumped in a chair, stoned out of his mind because when you tell him it's drugged,
Cool. As you're sitting there, he's like, "Okay, no, that's a little too much. That's like you're not taken out completely. You can still walk around and do things, but you're just a little woozy. It's like you're a little lightheaded, just a little. But as a brilliant doctor, you figured out what the problem is. That's what it is."
Yeah, so I think he's picking his way through the place, but as far as he's concerned, he's like, having hallucinations. He's imagining chicken with like LSD or something.
Brilliant. Okay. Oh man. So I think it is as this is happening that. Yeah, you're the only one who's out wandering around, I think, because Celine is in the library when this is happening, and Emerald is offset. So, Doc, you're going to kind of hear, and they lean into it a little bit. They do a little bit of a psychedelic camera, a tiny bit. To show your perspective, as you briefly hear this you hear what sounds like a distant sort of. It's not exactly a scream. It's more sort of a no from downstairs.
What?
At least they're getting along again. I have no idea who he's referring to, but he thinks somebody's having a good time.
Okay. I see. Yeah, just, and then you hear just what sounds like a snap, and then you don't hear anything. Yeah, this is definitely a diagnostic question, I think. I need, I think we're gonna have you make one more first aid roll, if you would, please.
Even better.
Yeah, that was a bone breaking.
Okay, I think yeah, Mason and Doc both recognize that, and he's gonna go and check it out.
Okay. So, You head down the
Somebody's
stairs.
getting hurt on the set again, and nobody's
Maybe.
taking care of them.
Who knows?
Maybe he
But,
can sue the company and get out of this thing altogether.
Yeah. Everyone's behaving as though it's supposed to happen, but you none of the PAs seem bothered by it. Actually, the PAs all look very happy right now for some reason. But as you they've got a slight couple of them have a slight dazed look on their face. As you head down, you're looking around sort of in the back, sort of around near where the fireplace is, and just sort of as you're coming down the stairs, which come out sort of behind in another sort of hallway behind the fireplace, you hear this sort of slide and as of some sort of sounds like wood meeting wood. As though there's like some door closing or something.
Okay. I follow the sound, I think.
It's like right around here somewhere. It was below you. You think? It was right around this back hallway somewhere. They're still shooting you, so this is supposed to happen. But this is somewhere around here, this back hallway, where the stairs come down.
Yeah, Steve very much wants to go and get back up, but Mason and Doc are just going ahead, follow the sound, figure out what's going on.
You have, is it the construction skill?
I have several of those, but construction is really good.
What do
Mechanics
you use
are really
for
good.
carpentry? That would be more construction, wouldn't it? Or am I thinking of something else?
I was thinking construction. I was thinking mechanics. Those are my highest as a result.
Roll construction, please. Okay.
Okay, this is insulting. That's the second time on this shoot that Mason has failed a construction roll.
So, you are convinced there is something down here near the staircase, but you can't find it. But there's something weird. You can't quite put your finger on it, but there's something weird about like the way the staircase was put together, or something weird with this hallway. You don't see specifically what it is, but it's like there's gotta be some kind of panel or something around here somewhere that isn't supposed to be here.
Okay. Start making my way down the hall, knock, 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 see if something sounds different.
Okay, you begin your search. We now go to the library. So, Karina, we see Celine reading a book, and it's this it's local legends book, right? And we see that this passage that gets lit up in a close-up of something you're reading. And it says, and the words say something to the effect of that the Lord of the Lands and all of his descendants were placed under the curse of the wolf, to live an undying half-life as a creature of the night. The curse was bound up in a magical pendant he was made to wear, and could only be broken by bringing it by placing it upon a holy relic.
Would you make the connection between this story and what the Lord was wearing?
Well, the character who saw what the Lord was wearing...
Oh, yeah, exactly. But, you know...
But maybe he was wearing... You could see enough. He was wearing a chain around his neck. So we're gonna get a we're gonna get a shot of a brief shot of Duke asleep in bed, and then what is Emerald doing right now?
Emerald is off by herself. Looking horrified at something. Like maybe yeah, I don't know what it is, something.
Thank you for the raid, Lindy. Yay!
Ooh.
Yay! We're in the midst of a B movie, and as people are looking around this old mysterious castle,
Portrait.
yeah,
It's
a portrait. Yes,
Yeah.
excellent.
There's a dramatic gas or you know
Yes,
what they
because
do.
you find this portrait that you found that there's this room, not too far from the library. Actually, it's probably in the music room. You see this. You find this portrait that was behind a curtain. That you pull the curtain, and the portrait was labeled. The portrait was labeled Lord Groundfeld, and the date was in the 1700s. And you open the portrait, the curtains, and it looks exactly like Lord Niles Groundfeld. The art department painted Henry, the actor, into this portrait. It looks exactly like him.
You know what? Can I scream?
You certainly can.
That's what I do.
Do you have the screaming talent, by the way?
I don't know what I'm doing it even if I don't, or I'm going to try to.
No, you can still do it. You don't have to roll for it. I'm just curious to know if you have the talent also.
I didn't. Let's see.
I don't know if you do. If you are actually, it's the you got the pre-gen. I don't think your pre-gen does. That's okay. Oh hey, thank you for the bits, Rock. Much appreciated. Hey, thanks so much. Please have a good night. But
Elsie can do it.
yeah. So Elsie's so this is what happens as you are there. We pan away because it's like they try to get a couple of takes of it, and then finally what we hear on the final take, the director said, "Okay, yeah, no, that was great, that was perfect." They cut away and we hear someone else screaming, but it's Emerald, but
is Kelsey screaming for Emerald?
not that you know of. Not that you're aware of. They put that in post. But So in post we hear Kelsey screaming, but it's and so both Celine and Doc hear this. Someone on the second floor is screaming from the music room. We then what are your immediate reactions?
Drop the book and run for the scream.
Mm-hmm.
Because the foreshadowing was already there. She's already reading something creepy.
Yes.
And then somebody is screaming, and it's a female voice. And it's just like, yep, drop everything and run for it and see what it is.
I think it takes Doc a couple of minutes to get there, because he goes back to his room first, and
okay.
when he shows up, I will leave it to the camera operator to decide whether they show more than chest up, but he's got his tool belts around his waist, and if anybody asks, I found them.
So before we cut to the to all of you running in one by one to the music room, we have a shot once again in Duke's room, and we hear the but it's lower to the ground, and we hear the panting as something approaches his bed.
And Duke is, as part of the horror convention, is having a nightmare, but because he's Arlo, his nightmare is just him closing an eye and going, oh, no, he's doing that. It looks very fake. No.
Awesome. So we see we see Emerald in the music room looking at this portrait, and we see Celine running into the room.
It's just like, oh my God, are you okay? I heard you screaming all the way in the library. Bad acting. Like she acts like she's actually on the stage, and she has to be loud and expressive so people can actually see what she's doing.
Look at the portrait. The portrait.
Right, she does.
You see, it looks exactly like the current Lord Groundfeld. And in the portrait,
can you make the connection to
in
her?
the portrait, he's petting a dog that looks just like a wolf. It looks suspiciously like a wolf. Yes, you can make that connection.
And she would be like,
Another scream.
just read it in a book that his family is under a curse, to live under the curse of the wolf.
No.
Never to die.
And we're trapped in this castle with him?
And at this point, Doc is going to make it into the room.
The mandatory exposition info dump.
You're muted.
I assume the last minute or two basically repeat as Doc's asking the same questions and getting the same
Yeah.
same look.
I was like, just saying what she read out loud for the people who can't read or didn't pay attention to what she was reading.
I didn't see whether either of you had any of the meat, but I think there was something in it. You might want to check on Duke, who seemed to have a lot more of it.
Something in the meat?
Let's get over to Duke.
No.
So there's an important roll I need you to make. In a moment.
Boy.
As soon as I find what I'm looking for here. Let's see. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna need you to let's see, what kind of roll will this be?
Will I finally get to roll something I'm good at?
You just
I
might.
mean, you are pretty good at dexterity.
So yeah, it's the question of, are you able to wake up? Are you able to wake up when this happens? I think that's the question. So, actually, that would be build. I think that would be build.
Oh, okay. 30, barely decent.
Yeah.
Nope, 85.
Okay. So, we see for a moment it's very obviously a rubber mask. But we see the snout of a wolf appearing just above you where you're lying. Is this close up of you lying there, and the snout of a wolf comes in, and we hear this. And so I think at this point, you had stated that you wanted to check on Duke. Is that what you folks would like to do?
I was suggesting at some point, whether that's right now or not. Leave it to the rest of the group.
What would you like to do?
Emerald will say that she wants to check on Duke, but once they're in the hallway, she's going to run to her room to grab her things because she's going to try to leave.
Ooh, okay. So we see that. So we see the. What does Celine want to do?
Yeah, she'd be like, oh no, Duke, he ate so much meat. We should check on him.
The forced narrative push.
For purely medical reasons, yes.
We see you racing through the hallway, and we see Emerald double back and go to just as though she's right after you, and then she turns and runs over to her room.
Look, this is a B movie. Characters make stupid decisions.
Oh no, it's perfect. It's perfect. Just see her quickly running in and starting to pack real quick. And we cut to Duke's room. And the door opens. And Doc and Celine are there at the doorway. And we have a shot. As the light comes from the hallway, we see the light from the hallway spill onto the bed. And we see it's a big trained dog, but it's it's on top of Duke, trying to just sort of Arlo, they ask you to hold a to hold a treat next to your head, and the dog is like down there just eating the treat, but it's the director has told you that to behave as though a wolf is attacking Duke.
Ah, get off me! Ah.
Duke is slowly coming to consciousness as this thing is on him.
How did you get here?
This is probably where Celine is going to use her talent for screaming.
Ah, excellent. Okay. Please roll screaming for us.
Okay. I mean, talent is at 35, but it's still,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
better than muff. Let's see how shocked she is if she can get it out. She didn't warm up her voice.
Oh wow.
Nope. She was probably like.
That's 100. Yeah. So. Well.
You did the
Well,
Godfather 3 silent scream.
The camera pans in as you're doing the silent scream. I like the idea. Scream only a dog can hear. Extremely loud cry of terror. If successful roll, other actors within earshot will reach the screaming actor before they can be attacked. Oh dear. Okay. So the wolf. They get the wolf, the dog, to act as though it is now focusing its attention on you, as though it can hear the scream. And
So they might have layered over a real scream later on.
they might have. We don't know. It's a silent scream, and then just out of tone we hear it's probably Kelsey screaming again. This. We have a shot from underneath of this dog leaping forward.
Ooh.
And
Am I able to tackle the dog?
well, yeah, we'll give you a shot at that because I don't want to go into frames just yet. We might in a moment.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead and
unarmed, right? This would be.
yeah, go ahead and do unarmed combat for us.
All right. Oh, 12. I have 50 on unarmed.
Excellent. Okay. So you're just barely in time as this dog is leaping. You lurch forward and wrestle this
Look
wolf.
out.
They see you tussling. They see you tussling with this creature on the floor, rolling over and over. And they tell you to very carefully make as though you're kicking the wolf or kneeing it.
Yeah, it's that very awkward cut where I move my legs slowly.
Yeah.
But then when they cut in the next shot, the dog is like just reacting to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
very
exactly.
Slow movements.
Yeah, all animal action is monitored. And so then they cut, they take the dog away.
I'm thinking there's a banner running on the bottom. No animals were harmed in the film.
No animals were harmed in the making of this film. And they give you a large stuffed wolf.
Just grab like, just moving it like this.
And
Go get help.
the director's like, and the director is telling you to throw it in the direction of the window.
Back, you foul beast. And throw it at the window.
You have throwing by any chance?
Oh wait, I think I do. I have 60 throwing.
Please make a throwing roll.
Let's go. Oh my god, 75.
Okay, so we see the stuffed the plush wolf just sort of hit the windowsill, and then
You forgot to unlatch the window. I say
and then
to,
it
like,
just sort of
off screen.
and then it just sort of tumbles out awkwardly. And they
There's, like,
map
3
in
different
sounds
shots.
later map in different shots of the like. We hear that, and does anyone rush to the window to see what happened to it?
I think we got a shot of Doc brandishing a pipe wrench.
Like, you come forward with a pipe wrench that suddenly materialized in your hand, and we get a shot from above of the dog again, safely on the ground, just sort of padding away.
Duke sees it go run away. Then he'll turn to the others with a exaggerated shock expression. What's going on?
I think
your
this.
meat was drugged.
Yeah.
Drugged? That explains the nightmares. Why was it drugged?
The Lord, he's under a curse.
Curse? That makes no sense. We must stop him.
For that, we need the pendant that he's wearing, and we need to put it on a religious icon.
That's very convenient. Let's go find this religious icon.
Maybe we should find the pendant first.
We should split up.
Good idea. That will be faster.
Oh my god.
I will look for the Duke. And he goes up on his own.
Oh my god. Brilliant. I think at this point...
I
Sorry,
think
go
I
ahead.
found something downstairs. Anybody want to come explore the basement with me? That seems fair. Safe.
I mean, basements are safe, right?
Of course, they're built for people to hide during storms and tornadoes. It's the safest place in this building.
Oh my god.
We're all gonna die.
I think at this point we have a shot. We see Emerald descending the stairs toward the front. So in one of the turrets, luggage in hand.
I think it's really, you can tell it's hastily packed, and Emerald's still in her like flowy nightgown. And I want to say barefoot. And it's just going outside.
Well, you make it to the front door. Front door opens, and you see in front of you, barring your way, this very large wolf, which is actually a dog that they've made up to look like a wolf. Just standing there going.
Okay, I know I can't scream, but I'm going to scream again because whoever said I
Excellent.
couldn't scream was a liar.
They were lying,
Yes.
like the lying liars they are. So there's a scream from near the front of the castle now that echoes through as that everyone hears. It's mapped in later. It's actually Kelsey's scream, but the character of Emerald is screaming.
And Emerald is not going to call the stunt double because Elsie is going to prove to everybody that Elsie can do Kelsey's job too.
That's right. Oh boy. So what's everyone
we all-
doing?
Do we hear this scream?
You all heard the scream.
Someone's in danger. I must go.
You all only heard this. You only all heard the scream because the director said so.
Yeah. Duke will charge towards where the scream occurred.
I think Duke got it. I think Duke got it.
Yeah.
We should check out that basement.
Yeah. So yeah. So
I'd hate to insult him by suggesting he needed backup.
Yeah, of course. So Doc and Celine are going to be in that back hallway, looking around, and Duke is going to make it to the front door first, obviously, as you race down the little stairs, and you see Emerald standing there, doors open, and the wolf standing barring her way. There's a suitcase next to her. She's there in her nightgown, barefoot.
And I'm like screaming, like I know it's going to get added in, but I want there to be like close-up shots of the screen.
Oh yeah, there you go. You get a close up.
It's all right. You're safe now. Step aside. And then when the scene cuts to Duke's face, he is randomly wearing his sunglasses again, and he takes it off. I'll handle this. And takes it off dramatically again.
Oh my god.
It's just continuity error. And then he'll eye the wolf the way, in those Western with the narrow eyes during the showdown.
We take like shot of you,
like for
shot of the wolf, shot of your eyes, shot of the wolf's eyes.
Yep. And then just randomly shot of our hands, one of his heads twitching. We have no guns. But then the wolf just has his claws and by the hand, but there's nothing at the waist. A random Western reference.
Just standing there in a standoff, and that's when they cut to commercial. So, very very briefly, we're not actually going to break, but I believe one of us wanted to take another stab at a commercial. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so your choice of do you know which product you want to do?
No.
I've got your choice here. You can do. We have left Olympian Insurance, Imperial Dishwashers, or Lenny's Auto Parts.
Lenny's Auto Parts.
Excellent. Okay, so at some point in the future, at some point, Elsie is doing a commercial for Lenny's Auto Parts. What do we see?
You see Elsie standing outside of a really kind of decrepit building that's got it's like a banner that says somebody's painted Lenny's Auto Parts on it. And Elsie's like standing in front of the building. Hi. Buy your auto parts from Lenny's Auto Parts. I buy all of my auto parts from here when my car breaks down from being a big Hollywood star. I'm Elsie. Buy Lenny's. 1-800-LENNYS.
This is my favorite store in the Citadel.
Ding ding ding. Buy Lenny's. No, that's right. Anyway. Awesome. Okay, so go ahead and make a fame roll for me, please. Actually, not fame. I'm sorry. It's a looks roll. I need you to make a looks roll for me, please.
Okay.
Because we need to see how it looked.
Oh my! I forgot about that part. Can I just say roll a 1?
Well, you can say it, but if you didn't, then that would be a lie.
Oh, I would never.
Well, do you have
11.
a Elden lying?
What's your looks?
20, and I got an 11.
Okay, you made it. So, go ahead and roll a d4 for me.
I was not expecting to make that.
4. Lenny's gets a big boost in sales from this commercial. Somehow. Against all reason. This commercial sticks in people's heads. And the client is very happy. So you gain a total of 5 fame from this one commercial.
Ooh.
The worst.
You will get... Your agent will continue to bring you offers for more commercials because of this.
This is going to be one of those commercials that shows up on YouTube. People just tear it apart.
Yep. But anyway, let's head back into the into the castle. We are at a point now we see, when we come back from commercial, we see Doc and Celine. We see Doc and Celine just knocking against panels, and then ultimately you find your way underneath one of the staircases as you realize the area beneath the floor, underneath the staircase, is hollow. There's some kind of trap door here.
Where does this lead? Is this an escape tunnel?
Okay, so Mason actually has some 40 actually in traps and tricks.
Ah!
Is that for making them, or does it help also with circumventing or disarming?
And tricks. The ability to set traps to capture animals, but includes knowledge of booby trapping. So I could say it could be for both disarming and arming. You want to give us a
Give it
roll
a
and see
shot.
how this goes? Okay.
Not well.
So, you get it open, but it makes a loud creaking sound when it does that echoes up and down throughout this hallway and the basement.
Surely nobody heard that.
So, having completely lost the element of surprise, Doc looks at Celine, and he pulls out the water pistol full of holy water, and says, "Do you know how to handle one of these?"
And she'll pull out her fountain pen. She's like, no, but I sure know how to start with this one. Should ask my
Mightier than a sword, I hope. He'll tuck it away.
absolutely ask my ex. Or don't. There might still be a warrant out. Up! Onward! Geronimo.
You see a staircase heading down. Is that where you're heading? Down into the trapdoor?
I mean, we found it. Absolutely are we going to go down there.
All right. We cut back to the front briefly. Where Arlo, Duke, are you actually are you going to try to fight this wolf, or are you just, it's not approaching. It just seems to be staying there, standing guard. It's not coming in, you notice.
All right.
By which I mean the
I'll
director tells you it's not going to come in. That's your character realizes that the wolf's not going to come inside.
all right. Then I'll turn to oh god, is it Kelsey? Yes. Wait, I keep getting Kelsey or Elsie.
Yes.
It's
Oh no.
it is it is the Gestalt
Yeah, and
entity that is Emerald.
At that point, Arlo blanked on the character's name, so he just go, "You, that was smart packing up and going to get help. Come back with the cops. I'll hold it off."
Ooh.
Emerald's going to run.
Okay. So first off, I need I need Duke to make a roll to successfully keep this thing at bay. I assume we're using unarmed combat here.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and
All right.
roll unarmed combat. You would,
Ooh,
please.
22.
Tell me
Okay,
there's
good.
a maze outside that she has to run through barefoot in the snow.
Well, there would be, wouldn't there? But she does have to run barefoot through the snow. Emerald, you dart out. What are you doing?
I'm going to fall.
Dramatically,
Yes, very
No.
dramatic.
nightgown flaring.
Now, I'm gonna. Do I want to do this here? Well, yeah. So you have two ways down the mountain.
Okay.
You have running down the path. If you're escaping, but you run out and you fall. You have running down the path, or you have the slope that goes down from the back of the castle.
I'm going to run towards the path, but I'm going to fall.
Okay.
Very dramatically. And then I'm going to just like be on the ground waiting for. I'm assuming there's going to be a close up.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I'm just going to like scream like desperately and hope that they, by screaming doesn't make any noise. But
Oh, yeah.
we got the close to look dramatic.
Yeah. You hope someone's going to come and help you. Is that the idea? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So you're there doing that, hopelessly trying to get out. And Arlo is wrestling this thing at the front. because of time, I'm not going to break us down into takes, but we see now Doc and Celine heading down into the dungeon. Now, when we see the dungeon, let's see, the way this set has been constructed, it's a little hallway that comes out, and you see from the stairs, as you're heading down, to your right, you see rows of cells, old dungeon cells, medieval dungeon cells, with your fellow vacationers, the NPC vacationers, most of them in there. And we look over, and you can also just sort of around the edge of this, and we see you sort of peering around the edge. And you see this big room lit with candles. There is an altar stone here. A decidedly unholy altar stone here. Not like the holy altar stone down in the church. This is an unholy altar stone. And around it, we see a few faces. We see a few people in robes. The people in robes whose faces we see include, and we're panning slowly because they're all turning and smiling at you because they knew you were coming. And we have this pan from person to person as this. Oh yes, the ritual is happening. I need to play the ritual music that we all know and love. And as the camera pans from face to face, we see Roger, the owner of the skiing lodge. We see Anne, the owner of the discotheque, the lovely lady that we saw Fugue with earlier. We see Heidi, the owner of the restaurant. And we turn and we see at the head of the altar, we see Lord Niles Graunfeld in a robe, very clean robe. His robe is cleaner than everyone else's. With the pendant hanging from his hanging outside his robes from his neck. And that shiny bronze wolf. The wolf's head at the end of it. Lying on the altar is Wensworth, the solicitor.
No.
They are all carrying daggers.
Wensworth has never hurt anybody.
And Lord Graunfeld says, "Welcome, friend. Welcome. You are just in time."
Just in time for what?
And you see a couple of cultists. Who were very nearby, stepping forward to grab the two of you. What would you like to do?
Scream and stab, and then run.
Okay, so
Full on panic.
panic, scream, stab, run.
Yes.
You have screaming, yes?
Yes.
Okay, make a screaming roll, please. This is an important screaming roll. No, not quite.
Sake. He's like,
You were aiming for a 35, right? Okay.
yes.
So it does have an effect in that they're taken aback for a moment. You get just another moment's respite. But they are coming for you. They're still focused on you. Doc, are you doing anything?
Yeah. So to reiterate, Doc has Mason's tool belts around his waist, which is partly flavor, but mostly two of my props.
Is it tool time?
It is tool time, and I will point out this entire character was inspired by the fact that one of the options under combat talents is power tools. So he's got a cordless drill in one hand. He's got one of those old, incredibly heavy flashlights in the other, which should make a very good club. And his objective is to get past these two and start letting people out so they can help. But
okay.
Step 2 or 3.
Let them out of the cells.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Please roll power tools.
In what other game do you get to say that?
I know, right?
It's the best.
Time.
Yes, it's a 33 under 50.
Excellent.
Ooh.
So this begins a very strange montage.
As they sometimes say in the movies, usually with a gun, I drill the guy.
So here's what happens. Whilst Celine is screaming, you dash over as you've stabbed a couple of folks with your power tools, and you manage to bash off a couple of instead of bashing off a lock, you manage to grab one of the cultists drops a key. You pick up the key, you dash over, and you unlock a cell. You hand the featured extra the key, and they start freeing everyone else.
Can I suggest something?
Sure.
So that's how it looks. In fact, the set is not built for the doors to be able to open. So we see him working on the lock, and then what we don't see is reaching just off camera and grabbing two of the PAs and dragging them in, because why should he be the only one? And now they are the free.
So they're slowly they're working on getting these doors open. We're going to and then these other cultists that are there remain. The ones around the altar are like trying to continue the chant, but they're like, oh god. We're going to flip upstairs real quick. Arlo, what would you like to do with this wolf?
He's gonna try to. He believes that he's buying time for Emerald, so he's gonna hold off the wolf as long as possible. He's gonna try to wrestle it to the ground and go, down, doggy. You're not going anywhere.
Yeah, Emerald is fallen not very far from the door, but go ahead and do another unarmed combat roll for me, please.
All right. Oh, 19.
Okay, you have this wolf pinned. Now you have it exactly where you want. What does this look like?
It's literally just a plush doll again, very close up. So it's just like occasionally angling that to make it look like the mouth is opening and closing.
Yeah.
Back, you foul beast, you mutt. And he like holds it and then roll around here and there, all extreme close up.
You have it exactly where you want it at this point. You can pretty much control this wolf at this point. Emerald, no one has arrived yet.
Coast is clear, Emerald. You can run safely.
What would you like to do?
After I realize that nobody is coming to rescue me, I am going to get up and I'm going to, under my breath, I'm going to say something about contacting my agent.
I mean, if you want to demand that someone comes and rescue you, you could try walking off the set.
Yes, I want to walk off the set. This is not, I'm supposed to be the star. This is not happening the way I planned.
Make a fame roll, please.
Okay. I got a 0. How do you roll a 0?
Did you roll double zeros?
No, I'm joking. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Bro. What did I get? 16.
Oh, a 6 and a 10. Well, it's 16 if you add them together. The first die is a 6, and the second die is the ones. I think is a
that
0.
Either way,
Then-
it failed.
Yeah, it's 60 basically is what that is. If it had been the other way around, you would have done it. So yeah. So if this is a situation where they're like, where the directors like for a second, okay, cut, hang on. Elsie, we can't, we don't have anyone else. Everyone else is downstairs. We don't have anybody else to come and pick you up.
This is not what I signed up for. I quit.
It's in the script.
We'll change it.
Look, right now in this scene, it's, there are only 2 other people, right? So either Arlo would have to come and get you, or the dog would. Now, which one do you want it to be? Because
The
I can pretty
dog.
much guarantee you, if we don't finish this shoot, that I do not see good prospects for your career in this town.
What's in the script? And she's like going to grab the script and flip through it.
It's a very good question. What is in the script? So you have so in the script as you're looking at it, that basically you are I think you're trying to run for help. I think that's the thing. So
Move this trash.
so it's either that or you're coming back into, or are you trying to do something else in the castle? But I feel like you're trying to run for help.
I'm just going to run for help, and I am really angry about this.
Okay. Let me check let me check something here. So. Oh boy. So the fastest way down the mountain would be, of course, to strap on a couple of skis and and take them down the slope. So that's one way down. The other way down is to just run down the side of the mountain in bare feet. Run down the path in bare feet.
I want to put the skis on.
Okay. So we see Elsie running and grabbing the skis that are suddenly there. And I need you to make a skiing roll for me.
Oh, goodness. I don't think I even... Do I have something in skiing?
Yeah, everyone
Everybody has
has
20.
has talent coaching in skiing, so everyone has 20 in skiing.
They probably put us on a bunny slope. This is how you look good standing on them.
And I'm still not calling my stunt double because I can do this.
Okay.
I'm better. Stunt double. I am better.
So let's see, that's a 43.
I am better than my stunt double. I don't care what the roll says.
So we see you. So we see you starting to go down to ski down the side of the mountain. And these shots that they have of you is like you keep slowly skiing to a stop, and then you have to start up again and and get around obstacles. And it's it's not very pretty. They're also not very good shots of you getting down the side of the mountain. But you do get on camera. They show that your character is skiing down the side of the mountain. Now, let's pop back downstairs and see where we are. So downstairs, it's utter chaos. The prisoners are out. They're distracting everyone. What would the two of you like to do?
I have an idea. Okay, so I have an idea, and I have an idea that will allow us to showcase one of, in my mind, the best mechanics in this game. So we have an army of newly freed tourists armed with hammers and screwdrivers and chisels and wire cutters, charging toward the cultists. It's going to be a great big dramatic combat scene that we really don't have the budget for. I'd like to suggest that's when the film breaks.
Ah. Are we all good with having the film break here?
I am.
Yes.
Sure.
So, who is contributing how many fame points to this? Okay. 5, 6, 7.
I'll contribute the 1 fame point I earned earlier.
Ah, so 8?
20.
Ooh.
So you only need to contribute 2 at this point.
20.
If you wanted to, okay, so you contribute 20 and you'll receive 18 of those back. Because if you spend 10, if you collectively spend 10, that does it.
Okay.
So there's a moment where it's like on the print of this film, as you see this dramatic scene starting to happen, you see the heat go through the print. As the film breaks, there's a little title card that says "Scene Missing." So, let me get this precisely to make sure this is I'm doing this right. Let's see. Film break. So, last resort on the part of the actors during combat. When a film break occurs, the action of the movie immediately stops, then begins again at some point in the future after the actors have gotten to safety. The actors may then concoct whatever harebrained story they wish to explain their escape, while the film was being spliced back together. And they go into the mechanics of how to do it, which we just did. 10 fame points. If 10 fame points are expended, a film break is automatic. So, you have all gotten to safety, which I think means in this context that you will all have gotten to the village. Do you have the pendant? Did you get the pendant or no?
If it's not too much, I'd like to offer that we are all gathered around the altar in the church with the one holy place that we are aware of where this thing can be.
Is that okay with everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I think also
he's covered in blood.
Yeah, I think Elsie has raised a little bit of there's a little bit of the villagers are a little bit shocked, but are doing something probably. But okay, so what does this look like, and what dialogue do we hear to justify the missing scene?
Can I offer something that when we were all running away, that Arlo was still fighting the wolf, and there comes the Lord, and Arlo has a showdown with the Lord with the sunglasses on, and he's the one who gets the pendant after, mano a mano with the Lord, kind of getting his ass kicked, but then he runs away and jumps on the skis to follow us.
We had
No, I was just gonna. As he jumps onto the ski, he goes, "Hasta la bye bye."
So we have this. So we have this very brief. Most of this scene is missing. They had to map the sound in afterwards for the little bits that we have. We have for a moment these shots. We have a shot of Arlo skiing down the side of the mountain with a couple of full-on werewolves also on skis following behind down the side of the mountain, trying to catch up.
Oh, shit.
And there's just a quick insert of Duke. Oh, that's not right. He
Because-
goes faster.
Because we missed the transformation scene, unfortunately, that was happening, where we have the Duke and other cultists who have turned into werewolves, and they're skiing down the side of the slope. So we have werewolves on skis, which was the major thing for this film before they found that scene was missing.
Can I ask one thing?
Mm-hmm.
Can Emerald, like the missing scene, like there's a complete, like it's completely gone, it's lost, there's no way to recreate it, but Emerald was supposed to have been attacked by a wolf?
Yeah, no. So you can see we can see the aftermath of that in this scene. So, but we're coming back up in
the ending, you know?
So we're coming back up in the church. Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What do we see?
Coming, we need to hurry.
I'm on my way. And Duke runs out holding the pendant, covered in blood with scratches all over his body. What do I do?
Are you okay?
He takes off his sunglasses dramatically. I'm fine. And then he puts it on. The first time we ever see him put on the sunglasses. Now what do I do with this?
You got it. You got to pull it on the altar.
And he'll rush. And then he'll put it on the altar. And
Lightning
looks around
crashes.
like,
There's a rumbling. And we see lightning strike the side of the mountain as these werewolves are skiing down it, trying to get to the church before you do what you're doing, but they are too late. An avalanche starts. We have stock footage of an avalanche as we see it come down, and we hear them crying out. And then we see nothing but the side of the mountain face, with a few skis sticking up out of it, haphazardly. And we see a lone claw with a very expensive cuff of clothing around it transform back into a human hand. We're about to see the last of... these are the last shots of the film. What do we see? What do we see of the four of you?
Duke will look off into the distance as near the scene of the hand turns back and it comes back to him, and he'll again dramatically takes off his sunglasses. The wolves have been tamed. And then he turns dramatically walks off. And then immediately next thing he's still standing there. He did not walk off. When it cuts to someone else.
And the doctor is standing next to him and with his hands on his hips. He's got scratches and torn clothing all over him. And he just says, "They've been fixed."
Yeah. So I'm thinking Celine is gonna stand next to Elsie and kind of like help holding her up, and they're both kind of gracefully torn clothing with a little bit of dirt just enhancing their faces. And she looks down at Elsie and says, "Elsie, when did you paint your fingernails black?"
You just you see this kind of like a twinkle, like a twinkle or something, and a grin, like an evil grin.
Oh no! Does Emerald have unusually sharp teeth right now?
And dark nails, long dark nails.
Yeah. And I think we see that just hovering on your face, and the eyes having that slight glow in it, the same sort of glow we saw in the discotheque owner's eyes earlier in the evening. And I think we just hold on that. And with that, the movie comes to an end, and the credits roll. The movie has concluded.
And Kelsey's name is in a dozen places.
Yeah. Credits are going up. We have as we pan away from the mountainside.
And like all the good acting moments were Kelsey.
Yeah. We see Krill's name in the credits. Everyone's name. Until finally, just the end shot of the castle with the lightning going behind it. Thank you all for joining us for the Late Show. As these end credits too are rolling. Thank you all for playing. It was very much appreciated. It has taken me... I'm sorry.
Can I offer one just glimpse of Mason a few weeks from now?
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah.
Because doing this big climactic scene is the first time he's actually really gotten a taste for how much he enjoys it, and he wants to do more. But the scene that he wants to build on, nobody can see because that's what was lost.
Oh no! It was really good. Awesome. Thank you all so much for playing. I very much appreciate it. I was planning to run this back in the 90s. And characters were made and everything. Never got around to it until this year. Sometimes it takes a while. But we're going to go around and do our outros. Feel free to tell folks where they can find you. And feel free to plug anything you like. And if you have any... and give us any final thoughts you had about this game, any favorite bits or what have you. We are going in reverse order from the way we started. So we are starting with Vivi.
Hi, I'm Vivi of Vivacia. You can find me all over Discord, or on Threads. That was the cat. The only other cool thing I am doing right now is we are in the second half of our Numenera stream on Girls Run These Worlds, where I am playing Jinx, a middle-aged teacher turned elf, who very, very, very much is sick of all the chaos children in her party. And I would say, you know what? Elsie is now perfectly spotted for, part 2 being, the main villain and the main villain.
So, Elsie, or will Kelsey be the one to get tired?
Well, you know what? Elsie probably starts out with, but she probably walks off in the middle. And Kelsey has to finish up because she was so sick and tired of everybody loving Kelsey. And then she, fine, then she does it. And then, maybe Kelsey gets like a award for the second part or something. That would be hilarious.
Yeah, it would.
I love it. Thank you so much for playing. That was wonderful. And now we are going to head over to Steve.
I'm Steve. Tall Halfling on most of the socials. Tall Halfling RPG over on Threads. I have a couple of one-shots coming up in the next month over on Lost Caravan RPG. And then for once, I don't actually know what's after that. So stay tuned.
Awesome. Any final thoughts about the game?
It was a hoot. And I think I gave you my final thought about Mason and where he goes from here.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. That was very cool, by the way. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for playing.
It's a spin-off action series to get together with Arlo. It has to be, and it's something like they get fixed, or fix it.
The fixers.
They make them do some kind of like crime film, or like a buddy crime film, something like that.
They're like contractors or something, or plumbers, who knows? And they're the ones who end up undercover and have to save everybody.
Oh, nice. I love it. I love it. Awesome. Well, now we are going to head over to Janie.
I'm Janie. I played Elsie. Tomorrow I have a game on Girls Run These Worlds. I'm playing a Firefly game. I forgot what else I have. That stuff. Follow me on Twitter at JaniePot7575 and Blue Sky JaniePot. And I think that Elsie does show up to do the sequel. There's probably like 5 of them. But it's like Elsie and Kelsey have this kind of weird dynamic where they keep taking over each other's projects. And with the commercial thing, Elsie starts doing infomercials.
Ah, nice. Automotive infomercials, strangely enough.
Yeah.
This really worked. It really worked out somehow.
The headlight cleaners, yeah. make your headlights look all shiny.
That's so good. Thank you so much for coming and playing. That was so good.
Thank you.
And finally, over to Nicky.
Hello there. I'm Nick, and I have been playing Arlo, aka Duke Blaine, and you can find me on social media as NickSnat1. That's with the number 1. And currently, I am in 2 different APs. One with DA Dungeon at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. On Thursday, where I am playing in a D&D game for a run-through of the Dragons of Icespire Peak. Except at the end of each session, we must roll a die, or rather the DM must roll a dice. And whoever's name is tied to that number, they become the new DM. So each session, we will have a different DM. And the DM will, instead of just playing through running the game, they run the game as if the story is told from the point of view of their character. So we must all behave differently. So it's all very biased narrative. So we'll see how wacky the story goes as we play. And the second AP I'm in is actually 6 hours after that at 8 p.m. Thursday at the same day, with a 5% chance where I'm playing a Monster of the Week game where we're all paranormal investigators in Seattle, and I am playing as the Initiate, who is a Buddhist shaman who does rituals and animal sacrifices to beat monsters and demons. But yeah, that's
awesome.
About it.
Yay! Very cool, very cool. Did you already talk about any final thoughts about this game? I was enraptured.
I had a blast. I didn't interact with the meta 4-4 breaking as much as I would like. Mostly I couldn't find a good opportunity for Arlo to do it, but I just like the fact, because when we're doing like B-budget things, you can just play around with the narrative, with the tropes, and then just roll with it and it'll just work. So yeah, I had fun with that.
It was so good. That was so good.
Does Arlo become governor?
He becomes counselor.
Joke, because there's
no scandals.
Yeah, I know. Yep.
No scandals whatsoever. Completely clean. Probably a no smoking campaign.
Yep. He
Brilliant.
does the no smoking campaign with the cigar in his mouth.
I love it. I love this so much. Thank you all so much. This was so good. This is so good. And thank you folks all for watching this silliness. I very much appreciate it. Once again, I'm Jim Ryan. You can find me at OtherDoc on Twitch, YouTube, and most social media platforms. Where I'm not Other Doc, I'm Jim Yes That Jim. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writings, and such. Down below on Twitch, you can access my website, social media links, YouTube channel, and various other things. This Thursday, we continue our campaign of Blades in the Dark, run by Brian. Been having a lot of fun with that. We are jumping into the score to steal a relic from the church, and I think that's going to be very cool. And then on Sunday afternoons, I run Alas for the Angry Void, a reskinning of Alas for the Awful Sea that's set in deep space. I'm doing a gothic sci-fi with it, and that's been a blast
so awesome.
so far. Yeah.
Alas was such a good game.
Things are heating up. They've got to get off the planet they're on. They really need to. And all the forces in the universe are trying to keep them there. So this is going to be interesting to see how this next session goes. And then 1 week from today, we will have one more one-shot of It Came from the Late, Late, Late Show. The movie will be Night of the Colossal Desert Creatures. And so just imagine what that's going to be. I can't wait. This was so much fun. Later, we'll have more one-shots and what have you. I'll be doing various bits of video gamery. Things will happen. Thank you all so much for watching. When we hit the end card, we're going to go send a raid over to someone. I think we're going to go and raid Vancouver by Night, because I don't think I've raided them recently. I possibly have. I may not remember. But we're going to go say hi to them. Feel free to hang on if you're so inclined and say hi to them with us. That, again, will be when we hit the end card. In the meantime, folks, thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and we will see you all of a sudden. Farewell.